Oh my God, it's the internet.
How are you doing tonight?
How are you doing?
Are you
Hey, YouTube now.
YouTube
Bad movie Fiends is
YouTubers?
live.
YouTube now?
Are you good?
I got a pop-up.
Are you uber good?
What? Hey,
Hey,
that's
hey.
me. Hey, that was me.
Wait, that was
Our audio.
am
I guess
feeding
our
back?
audio's working.
No, that was just me checking the
Yeah.
audio.
Chuck wanted to be sure that we were audiologists. Audiologically sound.
That's what I was trying to do, yes.
Yes. He wanted to see if we're audio.
Nailed
Hello,
it.
Robert.
Bobbert? What's up, homie?
I had to use this finger for
Live
mouse
chat.
ink, so now I can go back to pointing at you.
Okay.
Compose a tweet.
Finally, a podcast where I don't look like a ghost. Or live stream where I
Hey,
don't
nice
look
work.
like a ghost.
It's like Chuck kind of looks like a peach, like a Georgia peach.
Chuck is a peach.
Oh, that's true.
Oh, Chuck.
I could eat a peach for hours.
And me, I'm just hidden in the dark over here under my hat.
Like a Mackie in the
Started calling it Dawn of the Dusk. What is Duel of the...
Duel to the death.
Duel of the Fates.
Once you put House in there, I'm like,
Yeah,
House
sorry.
of the Dead.
House of the Rising Dead.
House of the Deaf.
There once a house that cool to the death, and there came a creeping
Doing
zombie.
great. Hello, Curtis.
Hello.
Hello, boy.
Hello. Why don't you come up and duel me sometime?
Duel. He said duel.
Huh? Duel.
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 A duel. Like Steven Spielberg's first movie.
Already on. Leave me alone.
Or was that Sugarland Express? Which one did you do first? You did Duel first. Duel first. That was also a TV movie, though, so it doesn't count.
My new personal computer has shipped.
You ordered a computer?
I ordered a computer.
What kind of
That's
computer
awesome.
did you get?
One that computes.
Did you get
Nice.
that bonus already?
No. This is a little bit of leftover from Taxmas and a little bit.
Nice.
I didn't spend as much money as I thought I would on the boat.
Nice.
So,
Man, that's a double win right there.
yeah.
Yeah. Taxmas for me was giving and not receiving anything.
Ah, okay. So you you were on the "'tis better to give
Yeah,
than to receive"
always better
end of Taxmas.
to give.
I'm here
money.
to tell you, it's not,
But you got more money during the year to spend.
I guess.
Here and
I
there.
do, like, it's sad that Jen and I both had the conversation. We're like, all right, how much do we have to take out each week just to offset this? So you got to go to HR and actually tell them, hey, take this money out now because...
Or you could just file 0, like I do. I'm almost always
I-
going to get a return.
Yeah, I claim 0.
Oh, and does Jen
Oh,
as well?
You also
Yeah,
still got
we have
Oh.
we have 2 incomes.
Well, I have 2 incomes.
Then I'm doing something wrong.
Maybe you need a
I need to
better-
stop doing my own taxes. Apparently,
Probably it.
Was there a pay change during the year?
yeah, I got a much better job, and so did she. So yeah, it's probably just
It's probably just the bracket that you moved into.
yeah,
It's like March Madness, but it sucks.
yeah.
So it's like March Madness.
Nailed it. Fucking this guy right over here fucking zinged all
Yeah.
of basketball.
People
Fucking
get
sports bird.
people
one of
get
us-
so mad at me when I say I really love the NCAA tournament because it's like the NBA except nobody can be good at basketball. Like it's like if the NBA, if everyone was bad at basketball, that's what the NCAA tournament is.
You know why I like the NCAA tournament? Because it's like the Habitat for Humanity. Because they get to build all those houses with all those bricks they put up.
And it used to be just like, oh yeah, I like the NCAA because I like 3-pointers and free throws. And now the NBA is like, hey, that actually works. So now it's all 3-pointers and free throws,
Right.
and it kind of sucks. I'm not as big an NBA fan as I used to be.
That's fair.
It's
The NBA to me turned into let's try to foul this guy instead of let's play basketball
well,
for a
it's,
long time.
Yeah.
Well, it's not even that anymore. Now
Yeah,
it's,
now
it's like
it's-
a shooter. It's a shooter's game now.
yeah, but the guys are all hunting for fouls.
Yeah.
Like James Harden got an MVP award just because all he did was run into guys. He either took he waited until he had an open three, or he ran into guys and got foul calls.
I
And
would
it's
see
just
guys
the most miserable thing to watch.
like jump into a guy with the ball and then just sort of like wave their arms until they hit somebody and then
Yeah.
let go of the ball.
Yeah.
Like that's man, don't play basketball like that. You invent another sport that's like
Yeah.
Fouls-a-palooza or something. Go play that. Otherwise, like play.
That could be the MBA. Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
It could be all fouls and yeah.
NBA Blitz
Hmm.
or
Yeah.
NBA Jam because that's just all you do is foul in NBA Jam. But yeah, like I just hate that. I just hate that style. I do like a shitload of 3-pointers because as a short and slow white guy, that was my default specialty in playing basketball, so I enjoy it.
Sure. Yeah, the closer you are to the basket, the scarier it is.
That's so tall. What is that? 10 feet?
I'm kidding. My Indiana Jones scar is I got
Oh, did you get
shoulder checked.
a bow? Oh,
Yeah.
you got a shoulder.
Yeah. Basically, like, dude went down and came up and just basically shoulder checked me right in the jaw. So
Yeah,
I got Grand Hilled, but
Yeah.
basically I just bit my own lip really good.
I caught an elbow to the eye and it split my eyelid open.
Nice.
Across, not up and down. That was fun for stitches in my eyelid.
Man, what is all this sports talk? This isn't us.
Yeah.
No.
Stop
no.
this.
Eh,
We don't know sports. We know movies.
it's
Well, now
fine.
let me
Sometimes
tell
we
you.
know
Oh,
sports movies.
I know sports.
I was going to start talking about my week away.
Oh
on-
right.
On
No,
a boat in a tropical location with beautiful
Oh.
women.
Oh well,
Yeah.
I was back to sports 1 second because while we have the possible experts, since I don't know how much you had to drink, but we were talking about double doubles, triple doubles. Is there such a thing as a quadruple double?
Yes.
Has anyone ever done it?
Yes.
So what
Multiple guys have done it.
Oh really? So like, what do they do?
It's usually
Steals?
centers that do it.
Steals or blocks?
Steals or blocks,
Yeah.
yeah. It's rebounds, points.
Yeah.
There's
And
some people who have had 10 turnovers, but that doesn't
Yeah,
count
I
as
don't
a
think that
quadruple
works.
double.
Yeah, that would probably
Wait,
that'd be LeBron.
10 steals or 10 giving it aways?
10 giving it away.
Okay, yeah.
10 it was stolen from you.
10 here, have a ball.
Yeah, because there have been guys who did the ball hog thing and had at least 10 points, 10 rebounds, 10 assists.
I can
and
guarantee
then
you
10
LeBron's done
turnovers.
that because like most people
Yeah.
don't realize is like when you're looking at all the things LeBron's on the top of, look at the turnovers.
Yeah,
He's way up
and,
there.
that's just sheer numbers too.
I know.
I mean, he's
Man can't
always
hold on to
got
his
the ball.
balls.
Just saying. Well, I mean Jordan
Yeah.
like is way down that list and like
Yeah.
and as a contemporary to all the others, I just
Yeah.
like anytime that conversation comes up, I'm just like you're an idiot.
Yeah, yes. Anyone who says LeBron's better than Jordan is an idiot.
Yes. Yeah. Just count rings
Basically,
like a tree.
or they were born in the 2000s.
Yeah.
Right.
and have no context whatsoever.
But okay, so I was saying that I'm pretty sure that like John Stockton got multiple triple doubles off of never getting a rebound because he probably got a lot of steals, right? I mean, he was a steal master. Like,
Yes, probably, but it's real hard to get 10 steals. It's
yeah,
really
but I mean,
hard.
his average per game is like 22.
I'm
It's
trying to
fucking
remember the
crazy.
last one. I know David Robinson had
Or
a
no, it's
few.
assists. I'm sorry.
I know David Robinson and Hakeem Olajuwon have had them,
Mhm.
but
Is
they
that
don't
a no?
happen
You
very
looked
often.
it up.
John Stockton didn't have a triple double in his career.
Never once. Okay.
Never once.
Well, yeah, because he's not going to get rebounds. It's nowhere
Yeah,
near the
when
basket.
in the early days of the Magic, when they kind of sucked, there was a guy named Anthony Bowie who actually called a timeout so that he could get another rebound to get a triple double, and like the
Good
other
for
team
him.
was so pissed at him. And it's like, who cares, dude? Like that, you think this guy's ever gonna come close to another triple double? And yeah, so they let somebody toss one up and miss the shot, and he got the rebound, and then He got his triple double.
Yeah,
That's
good
more
on
than John Stockton could say.
Oh!
Who's better,
Oh,
Anthony
shit.
Bowie or
Shit.
John Stockton?
Anthony Bowie stands
Yeah.
just went fucking
Yeah,
mad.
Anthony Bowie's like, triple doubles. How many you have, John? Oh, that's none.
None.
Yeah,
Anyway.
little pasty gangster, John Stockton.
Pasty
John
gangsta.
Stockton, the pasty gangster.
he was dirty motherfucker.
Mhm, he was.
One of the dirtiest players in the history of the league.
Really?
Yeah.
That,
Oh
whole,
yeah.
that whole team was.
Yeah,
I
he
mean,
was.
It's
Oh,
hilarious.
he's
Yeah, Karl Malone too. Just fuck Karl Malone.
yeah.
For multiple reasons.
What's funny is like Karl Malone might be the biggest redneck to ever be in the NBA. Like he just like.
Oh, I don't know. I learned a lot about Larry Bird watching Winning Time.
Oh yeah, Larry Bird is
Man,
pretty.
what a piece of
but-
shit.
Yeah, Larry Bird's kind of yeah.
Well,
He's a
there's a
pretty big
difference
dick.
between a redneck and a piece of shit.
Well,
You can be both.
No, Larry Bird, like the way he threw out his back was he was basically doing the asphalt for his driveway because he didn't want to pay anybody else to do it. He's just like, I'll just do it, and then he threw out his fucking back doing it, and basically ended his career because he was too cheap to.
Yeah, well, it was time anyway. I mean, by the time when he was still playing, I mean, yeah. I mean, I'm just saying, like, Magic was out. It was a new era. He was done. He needed to be done. I'm just saying, like, you ask any NBA player of that time, person they least want to play against, it's Larry Bird, even against Michael Jordan. I mean, that's not a good thing because he was a nasty player.
He talked mad shit.
Mm-hmm.
Got my
In the good way,
fights.
Chuck.
I know.
In a good way.
I always call it my walking era.
Wow.
That's when I need to get a haircut, is when it goes all walking.
Well, I become a 20s gangster as it's doing right now. It's parts in the middle. That's how I know I have to get a haircut.
Okay, so real quick pop quiz. There's an Al Capone movie. I have no idea who any...
Scarface.
Is that...
I mean, the original was Scarface, but it's not really an Al Capone. It's an Al Capone movie, but they don't call him that because that would have pissed Al Capone off, and they literally didn't want to do that at the time.
He was named... Okay, so they didn't want to call the movie?
Yeah, Scarface is like
But he is called Al Capone in the movie?
No.
Okay. Because I'm pretty sure this movie,
is an
the guy was called Al Capone.
okay. Untouchables.
Man,
Wasn't there one with
Black and
Tom
white.
Hardy?
Oh,
Or are you talking an old
okay.
old movie. Something that would be on, like, TMC.
The Public Enemy?
Is it The Public
Might be.
Enemy?
There's one called Al Capone
Yeah.
that Rod Steiger was Al Capone. It's 59 or 60, I think.
Also, if you mark that you've watched Everything Everywhere at Once, BJ, take a look. It changes the watched to
Nice.
that.
I like that. I don't know if it was The Public Enemy. Let me view a picture or two.
Did you catch the tail end of it? And
I caught the middle and some of the end.
just while you were on
No,
the
that
boat?
wasn't. Yeah, it was one of those, like, I wasn't, there was a day where I just was not feeling well because I, for some reason, did not sleep well at all on the boat. And it caught up with me one day, and I was just like, I'm going back to the room and watching TV for a while. And there's just this black and white movie, and it took me 25 minutes to figure out any of what was going on. Okay, so what was another one? Another one was just called Al Capone.
Mm-hmm.
Might have been it.
I want to say 59.
What's it about?
Tax evasion?
Yes, it's about taxes. Yeah, it was
It's-
1959. Al
it's-
Capone.
It's actually about how Al Capone was a big fan of pickleball. And
Yeah.
it's about him learning to play pickleball. and
Pickleball.
Did I ask about pickleball last time I was here?
then- Whenever we brought it up, I think during Black Samurai.
What?
We talked about pickleball.
We did?
Yeah, and we had to look up what pickleball was, and
Pickleball.
it's just like,
Yes, it was 1959's Al Capone.
was that
It's-
the movie you were watching?
Yeah, it was pretty good actually.
Really?
They had a really good transfer of it.
Did they say hello to his little friend?
They did not say hello to his little friend.
Oh,
At least they, not that I noticed. They might have done it before. Or
That's okay.
In the first or third
That's
act.
okay. Akira got me for fun, man.
Anyway, cruises are great. You should do them, and try to beat as many weird people as you can, because that's a whole lot of fun.
All right.
One day I will regale you of the tales of Kiki, who did all the drugs.
Yeah.
Shout out to Kiki,
Yeah.
I mean, R.I.P.
living her best life.
R.I.P.
Did Kiki hook you up?
No, I did not want any of the drugs that Kiki got in Cozumel. No.
Oh yeah, Cozumel trick. No.
Oh yeah, no.
No.
Everyone knows that.
Also, you can buy fentanyl in
Yeah,
Cozumel.
I was
if you
about to say Cozumel drugs like oops, all fentanyl.
want. Right.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter what you bought. You just bought fentanyl.
Yeah.
More like oops, all roofies.
Yeah.
It's like when you get when you get in Hawaii, they just put a ring of fentanyl around your neck.
Right.
Like, here you go.
Fentanyl patches.
Enjoy your opioid.
It's just a lay made of syringes.
Right. I just couldn't believe it. Like the sanitary area, like the place,
What?
sanitized area, like the
Oh.
place where the cruise ship is like, don't leave here or you'll die from stabbings.
So off in the corner, just a gang of people just standing there,
It's
like
like-
like in fighting game.
I can just see Tracy, the
Idling.
cruise director, saying that
Yeah.
in that exact same voice.
Or there'll be stabbings.
Don't leave the sanitary area
That was basically it. She's like,
unless you like ventilation.
Sanitaria.
Oh man, I
Please.
hope it's like Peter McNichol from the Addams Family, where he's like, "Come on, campers, don't go out there, you get stabbed."
pretty much Lele, our cruise director.
Lele.
Lele
Yeah.
and Kiki
Right. It was a bunch of repetitive names.
cruising around.
I think Lele was a Crip, by the way, because she wore a blue bandana tied around her head. So, anyway, like as soon as you step outside of the sanitized area, the cruise ship approved area, there's a guy like, "Hey, what do you need?" I was like, "Nothing."
Sorry, I crossed the line.
He's like, "No, what do you need? What do you? I can get you whatever you want. Like, you need." And he listed off about 14 drugs, half of which I hadn't even heard of. And then he's like, "Fentanyl? You want fentanyl? I can get you fentanyl." I was like, No. And then like 10 other guys, as we were walking around the slightly less sanitized area of Cozumel, would also ask me if I wanted any of 14 drugs and fentanyl. So I got 14 drugs and fentanyl. So
Okay.
yeah.
Cool.
Did you let them know that you like to party?
I did not. I also,
Like,
yeah.
hey guys,
I didn't-
I'm from America and I like to party.
Oh, whoops! I
I'm
have
from
all,
America, and I also like to party.
it seems
You
that I
just
have all
walk
this
around-
cash coming out of my pockets.
You just
Whatever
walk
will I
around
do with it?
tapping your nose, being like, "I like to party."
Hey, just let me make a quick call to my dad so he can transfer some stocks, so I can buy these drugs from you.
Right.
Yeah, they're. 'Cause he's
Stonks.
always got to move money around to get me cash, you know.
And there's stocks in fentanyl.
They're called
Yeah.
stonks.
I'm gonna make money in this transaction.
Well, I'm just trying to say you should probably let them know that your parents are rich.
Very rich,
Yeah.
yes. Although, like, to be fair, to Cozumel, right?
Right. It's just drugs. There's no kidnappings. Come on.
Right. Well, we didn't get kidnapped.
Right.
There were 7 of us. It would have taken a while.
Sure.
Um,
You're not kids.
but we did go to like their little shopping area, and we went to a little restaurant, and great.
You had that one day where you got adult napped. So.
Yeah, no kidnapping, but
Yeah.
adult napped. But yeah, no, there was the great restaurant, and everybody was friendly, and the food was really, really good. So, it's not all dudes trying to sell you fentanyl, but stay in the sanitized area if you're prone to drugs and or getting kidnapped.
Does it go from like color to black and white when you cross the line?
Mhm.
Like it's just like it's a very obvious like, oh,
We're not in Kansas
There's a gate.
anymore.
okay. Oh, there's a gate.
Yeah.
You went through the gate.
Yeah, we went through the gate.
You were like, fuck this gate.
There were 7 of us, and one guy spoke fluent Spanish, so we figured we could get out of any situation that
You're like,
involved.
fuck your rules.
They weren't rules; they were guidelines.
Kiki.
Okay, let me tell you the most fun thing about the Kiki thing.
Okay.
We had seen Kiki and her
The
group.
Kiki situation.
The Kiki situation. So we had seen Kiki and her group on the boat before.
Oh, how many of them were there?
4.
Okay.
So there's Kiki and Taylor and Katrina and Taylor's
and
boyfriend.
the rest of her delivery service.
Yes.
Sure.
We'd seen them, so we knew like they were on our boat, and they were sitting behind us at when we were on Grand Cayman because we went to the beach and rented beach chairs and umbrellas and sat and drank K-brews and had a good time. At some point, they started like hollering and playing the penis game, and I was like, "Are we really playing this game?" She's like, "No, but can I get a oh yeah?" And I was like, "No, you absolutely can't."
What, pray tell, is the penis game?
The penis game is where you just say penis as loud as you can, and whoever says penis the loudest wins.
Mhm.
Never played that game?
No, that sounds dumb.
You know the penis game?
I'm aware of it.
You're aware of it. Okay.
Penis.
I'm aware of things
won.
beyond my time.
Yeah.
There was a point in time when I tried to stay relevant, and then as things became increasingly stupid, I closed off and
I don't
stopped.
think this is a thing. The penis game.
You should watch.
Way to
You should
destroy
watch.
your Google search.
You should watch 500 Days of Summer, and then you'll understand.
So I was like, you absolutely cannot get in
Yeah, no.
like that, but I will give you my best Macho Man Randy Savage. Oh, yeah. So I hit her with a big old Macho Man Randy Savage. Oh, yeah. Every time she saw me for the entire rest of the cruise, that
She
was
did that.
4 more days. Yeah, can I get a, yeah. And I had to Macho
You had to
Man
perform
Randy
for
Savage.
her.
Yeah.
For Kiki.
It was fun. It was fun.
All right.
She hit me with it at dinner and like in the middle of a dining room with 200 other people.
Macho Man, sky's the limit.
You know, you don't have to comply with Kiki. I mean, you didn't
when
comply
you-
with the guidelines.
Well, when you got you got a thing. It was our
See,
thing.
Chuck,
It was your boat
right
thing.
here,
Yeah.
there's the cream. Yeah.
Plus, it's a carnival cruise. You can just act crazy. It's
right.
fine.
Yeah.
Did anyone fall off the boat?
No.
Oh.
Nobody jumped off the boat either.
Okay.
That did happen earlier this year. Somebody jumped off of a cruise ship.
Man,
Oh, really?
nothing like waiting for 2 years to finally get on a cruise and then being like,
Whee!
fuck it.
I've been waiting 2 years to get on this boat so I could jump off of it.
I mean, was this like to end it all, or just like a whoops?
Drunken, like, I can make it.
I think it was more of a
Okay.
one of those.
You
like,
can't make it. I can make it. You shut up.
Yeah.
Penis.
Oh yeah!
Gotcha.
Ah.
Just just curious.
Sure, yeah.
I was just thinking, like I mean, I don't know. No judgments, I suppose, but pick a better cruise line. I mean,
Then Carnival to
yeah.
jump
I mean,
off?
I figure like just
To,
for
or for suicide.
yeah, for
sake.
irony's
Oh,
sake,
yeah.
go get on the Disney cruise line. Just
Ruined
just
thousands of childhoods.
yeah. I mean, just like no one dies on Disney property. Bullshit.
They're just not declared dead.
All right.
Right. They keep you alive until they get you
I
off.
mean, I guess technically when you jump off the Disney boat, you're in international
get you
waters,
off?
so they could be like,
Yeah.
"Oh, you died in international
Hurry
waters,
up,
sir."
hurry up.
It's the penis game.
Yeah. Weird penis game on Disney cruises.
Well, you know, what can you do?
So I mean, I know it's not a big problem these days. It's more of like a West African thing. But like, what if there were actual pirates in the Caribbean and you're on a Disney cruise line and you're like, I don't know, guys. Like, I don't know. Is he the captain now?
You've just written the worst movie.
Oh god, it's gonna be so bad.
We're gonna have to save the boat.
What happens when the Pirates of the Caribbean?
Are pirates in the Caribbean?
Oh, I'm gonna call it Captain Flathead. It's the opposite of Captain Phillips. Oh man, I'm writing this movie right now. Let me get on it.
All right.
Yeah.
Pull up Final Draft and get going.
Let's do a podcast, shall we?
Yeah.
Oh shit!
Yes, oh shit, indeed.
Forgot about that.
Podcast? Yeah.
Yeah, we're so busy with all the other
I was having fun.
stuff.
Penis game.
Kiki.
Penises and Kiki.
I did not put my penis in Kiki.
No, I didn't say that. I just said penises and Kiki.
Oh, and Kiki.
Yeah, not in.
Yeah. Don't
No judgment if you
your
did.
no. Don't schmeck your doinkin' crazy.
It's a conjunction, not a preposition.
What if? Now hear me out.
Took that phrase to
What
a
if
new
you'll
level.
never see her again?
Well, it's true. He's not going to.
Then I won't ever see her again.
Okay.
I do. in the back of my head, I want sometime 10 years down the line to hear a "Can I get an oh yeah" from across the street, and I'll turn around, and she'll be like sitting there with a needle in her arm. And I'll be like, "Oh, yeah."
Were y'all roughly the same age?
You get to be the hero
No.
story, and she gets to be
No?
the heroine.
Was she much younger?
She's
or
10 years younger than me.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. So y'all won't be in a home at the same time, and
We will. Well,
just suddenly
She ain't making it to a home.
they'll
Chuck.
they'll roll you in, and she'll be like, "Hey,
right.
can I get it?"
Can I get some of that methadone acting?
Did you say methadone acting?
Yes, I did. Yes, I did.
Yeah.
All right.
Poor Kiki.
Yes, poor Kiki indeed, living her best life, not for much longer.
She was having a great time. She was Wade Boggs in it with the drinks.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you have a certain amount, even if you buy the free drinks package, you have a certain amount. And she was, even though they will tell you when you approach your limit, she had them written on her hand so she
Oh,
could keep
wait.
track of her drinks.
Wait. The unlimited package
It's
is
not an
unlimited.
unlimited package.
Really?
Yeah.
Not an unlimited.
Yeah, you
How-
should- they have to have the bugs.
How did I manage to not hit the limit?
You didn't drink 15 alcoholic drinks in a day.
Well,
Was it on Carnival?
Did you cross the
Royal Caribbean.
international date line?
Different
Royal Caribbean.
different rules.
Yeah.
Carnival has different rules.
Oh.
They had a ship-wide fight break out in like 2012, I think it was, something like that.
Like a
Why?
bench clearing brawl?
Wait,
Like
everyone
a bench
fighting?
clearing brawl.
Was
Like,
everyone
Kiki
took a
there? Did she
side.
tell you about this?
it was a Donnybrook,
So a boat-wide Donnybrook.
pretty much over flip-flops,
If I go to World Star, will I see videos of this fight?
probably.
I mean, is it like the level of a fight that breaks out in a Showbiz Pizza, or
I mean, we're just talking like at all levels. Like, I mean, everywhere. Like, even in the casino.
I think it was okay. It wasn't like a
just
stem
everybody?
to stern,
I just.
but
Yeah, I
it
just
was
said
apparently
everything.
a big fight broke out in the
Okay.
bar area.
I'm just like imagining the end of like Titanic meets the end of the Kingsman, like at the same time. But
Yeah.
well, actually, it's more like the middle of the Kingsman, I guess. But the church scene.
I'm watching the World Star video.
Mm.
Okay, so it's like 20 people. That's a Donnybrook.
Yeah, that. I mean, is it in the bar area?
Oh,
That's
yeah.
barely
Okay.
a melee.
Did anyone get slid down the bar?
Ooh.
I'm waiting.
And the
Bottle.
person at the end of the bar
Come on,
quickly picked up their
bottle.
drink, and
Yeah, I mean, it's not a Donnybrook unless someone gets hit with like a full bottle.
someone hanging from the ceiling fan.
No ceiling fans on cruise ships.
Yeah.
But why?
Decapitations.
So, like, you hit a wave, you don't want to bounce up and hit the
Right.
ceiling fan.
Yeah, I mean, it's just they're a hazard. They become like a Metal Gear hazard when you go Poseidon Adventure. So
I was gonna say, I would think they would help because then you could stand on one and then
Nah.
just let it fling you into the next area to get to the
this
'cause you
isn't
couldn't-
like a 3D platformer, Chuck. That's not how life works.
yeah, they're glowing,
Okay. Oh.
and you jump on it and it flings you around and then you
Uh-huh.
get up to the higher level.
Sure.
That's how it works.
So yeah. Anyway, they changed. Apparently, in response to that, they changed the
The limit.
rules on the unlimited drinks.
Weird.
Man,
So you can
Weird
have
that
a
how that
maximum
works.
of 15.
Well, I mean,
that's trash.
if you can't get fucked up with 15 drinks in a day,
Well, the problem is if you're awake for 16 hours a day,
yeah,
like that's less than one drink per hour.
do
And-
literally anything else.
and your body processes approximately one drink. worth of-
literally anything else.
Bro, I bought the drinks package. I'm getting fucked up. Come on.
Just do all 15 at once. Then the other 15 hours don't matter.
Do you have like coupons? Like, could you like? Is it like a per diem? Like you could save up? And,
No,
like,
it's a card. So you get you have your sign and sale card, and you use that for everything on the ship, pretty much. So you don't have to pull out your actual credit card.
Yeah,
or
you
whatever,
just
or,
swipe
or
that-
ID. You
that
just
Have you ever been on a cruise? I've never been on a cruise. I mean,
No.
Oh, okay.
And
Cruise people, not cruise people. I've never
Yeah.
been.
and so you just
Never
hand the
will.
bartender
Alright.
your card, and they
I mean, I don't figure I'm ever going on one now. I mean, I feel like that ship has sailed. But no, I just mean like we're kind of. It seems like getting on a confined space in an open area is a thing of the past. But yeah, no,
That's-
yeah.
I just went on one. It was
Sure,
fine. Nobody died.
Yet.
True.
Anyway, we should probably do a podcast. Sorry, all these questions are not germane.
R.I.P. Kiki. Let's kick this joint.
All right, welcome to the BMFcast.
Hey,
BMFcast.
BMFcast.
Episode numbers, I don't know, 540?
540.
540.
Ooh, look at that.
Numbers.
I'm Harlow.
I'm Mackie.
I'm BJ.
I'm Chuck.
And what we do each and every episode of the BMFcast is we go and we watch ourselves a quote-unquote bad movie. Then we come in here and talk about it. Then they get ratings. Good bad movies, enjoyable bad movies. They get 1 to 5 Jackses and Robot Jocks.
Robot Josh.
However, there are bad movies. Listen, stay away. They get a negative sliding scale. 1 to 5 bags. Listen, giant bags of trash.
Oh, yeah. So
Yeah.
What on earth?
Giant bags of trash. Chuck.
Okay, sure. Bags.
Wow. That got aggressive.
Yeah, we this movie was actually sent to us in the mail, physically.
By our friend Knobs.
Yeah.
Yes, this is the second film we have been sent in the mail.
It's a Region B
I
disc.
feel like we've
So
been sent
he-
more of the movies than that. Yeah, we definitely have been sent more movies than that.
Not-
I don't know that we've not covered all of them. So,
Yeah, that's a good point.
yeah.
Either way,
But yes,
It's
this
here.
is 1983's Duel to the Death.
Duel to the death.
It is a Hong Kong action film.
where they duel
to the death.
Yeah.
It's the debut film directed by Ching Su Tung, who went on to make a lot of well-regarded kung fu flicks.
Mm-hmm. Like what?
Now, I knew you were going to say that.
death.
I knew
the
immediately you were going to
duel.
say that. It's the ones that Chinese Ghost Story
Okay, yeah.
are the ones that most people know.
Perhaps the Swordsman Saga.
Yeah, but he also did like a lot of the choreography, like for Hero, I believe, or for House of Flying Daggers.
Okay.
And Curse of the Golden Flower.
Yeah,
Look at you.
Reading the back
Which-
of the Blu-ray.
which like you see where those come from watching this movie,
Mm-hmm.
but those are like a solid 20 years later, so the filmmaking is a lot more refined around
Sure.
those.
There's another
those
movie
movies.
I've been meaning to find. It's just called The Flying Daggers, not House of Flying Daggers.
Mhm.
That is, you know, if you like the wire foo flying people crazy stuff, then it's another one I just remember in a stack of having watched hundreds. There's like, you know, a few are like, ooh, that one I'm remembering because that one was really good. And
Yeah.
anyway,
I had an ex where House of Flying Daggers was her favorite movie.
that's a really
All time.
that's a really great movie, and
Yeah.
one I keep looking for. Like every time it shows up somewhere, I'm like, have they done 4K yet? And I keep knowing the answer, and because like, man, that movie will look so good when it gets
Yeah, I know.
HDR'd.
Needs to happen eventually. Jeez, what are they thinking?
I mean, that's just like I
What is the deal?
I just wish, like-
with these companies.
I wish that, like, you know, things were more about picking things based on their artistic value than, like, you know, like, I'm sorry.
then
don't-
there's sellable
well, I
value.
just like, I mean, I'm sorry. It's a little silly that in the world of like all the things we're missing in 4K, that like airplanes in 4K. Like, I get it. It's a big, well-known movie, and you know, you might as well do it. And it was going to get transferred, but it's just like there's nothing. Like, nothing is gained by seeing that movie in higher resolution.
Yeah, I wish there was like a living to be made in like documenting. Okay,
Sure.
the whole process and where they find the print and like all of, because I know so many of them is it's basically like, I mean, let's throw the James Cameron ones out because that's just
him.
a stupid side case. But like, you know, when there's any of these movies, they're just like, dude, no prints exist. Like we don't have a clean full copy of the movie.
Yeah.
You know, like
And-
like I wonder how many movies exist in that realm.
Well, I mean, especially like with the Chinese Hong Kong kung fu cinema stuff, most of it, I would say probably 80% of it is lost. Like
Yeah.
the major studios, the Golden Harvests and the Shaw Brothers stuff, they protected their library. Most of the other companies were these weird fly-by-night mob front kind of things, and
Yeah.
those just don't exist anymore. They may find like a print that got shipped overseas or something and be able to make a transfer out of that, but
Yeah. Or like they found a VHS copy of Magic Cop or something.
a lot of it didn't get past VHS. Most of the DVDs out there are just VHS transfers, and that's as
Yeah.
far as they're going to get. So,
Yeah.
so when you get one of these, like even just a Blu-ray, it's like holy shit! Like good job.
Yeah,
okay.
Thanks for keeping
'cause-
that.
I mean, I suppose that we should go ahead and
This
talk about
one-
it on the technical aspect
Yeah.
because
The actual Blu-ray looks good. The opening scene has grain, and then like
I think it's stock footage. I mean,
yeah,
I'm pretty
and
sure.
and then the rest of it is rock solid.
Yeah.
I would say, aside from like the transfer's rock solid because the filmmaking, the focus puller on this movie was not talented.
That's a thing.
no, yeah.
Is it?
It is a weird thing where the lenses are not completely. It's like that last.
They're just like bad lenses where they don't focus properly,
Or it's just a style that they like or something, but it's common. It's super common.
Yeah, and what we're talking about is like the guy in the foreground of the frame will be correct.
Well, actually, there was one shot where I literally couldn't tell what the depth of field was.
Yeah,
Like it didn't make sense at any point because like the sensei who's in the foreground isn't in focus. He's handing someone a scroll which isn't in focus, and the person that is being handed the scroll isn't in focus. And then it does
Yeah.
a pull-in move, and I'm like, oh, okay, they just lock the focus into when so it'll be in focus when it pulls in. No, he's still not in focus when it pulls in. I'm like, what the hell were you just didn't even try. You're
Yeah.
just like, turn on the camera. I don't, whatever.
yeah. There's a lot of guy in the
Ninth
foreground.
unit director.
Guy in the foreground speaking to people in the background, and you don't see the guy in the foreground really. You see the back of his head, but you don't see that. Like the people in the back are just out of focus. It's not like they're blurry. It's like
Yeah.
they're just a step out of focus somehow, and it always bothers me.
Mhm.
And and like you said, you can tell it happens so much that it's like a stylistic thing, but it still feels like, all right, their focus puller just didn't know how to do this, and they didn't want to reshoot it.
It's either a style choice or it's something that they can live with, and they just have to
Yeah.
get to the next thing.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I mean,
As long as
honestly-
the action scenes are in focus, that is what they're focused on.
Yeah.
Dialogue and walking around and shit, they're like whatever.
Yeah, I do love how they can get action scenes to be rock solid. Everything's in focus. Guys are moving all over the place, and yet, like, it's a scene where it's a static scene of a guy handing someone a sword, and they can't get any of that correct.
Yeah.
I mean,
They're like, if you're not going crazy, we can't focus on you.
honestly, you say focus puller, I would be willing to bet they didn't have one because I mean, now that you say that, I don't recall like this movie really rack focusing ever, like it ever changing
Yeah.
in mid shot.
It did. There
It
was
did?
there
Okay.
was one scene where two people were talking, one
And
in the
it
background,
switched.
one in the
Okay.
foreground. And
In the opening sequence,
yes,
man, the cameraman is just doing work
yes,
in that opening sequence.
Not good work, mind you. He's just doing work.
he's working. He's trying. They're trying.
He's exerting effort, but the results.
His Apple Watch was like, "Need more steps. Get moving,
Right.
buddy."
Yeah,
His 1983
So-
Apple Watch.
I mean,
Hashtag
so-
jacking it.
yeah, what was that? The Newton, or even
Yeah.
before that? Yeah, he just had a Newton strapped to his wrist.
ZX Spectrum watch.
But
It was-
no,
they called it the Gauntlet.
so along the technical line, so on this Blu-ray, the print, the visual print is really strong. Now we have to get to the audio track, which is like a whole different ballgame because apparently with this movie there are multiple audio tracks, like not just language tracks, but like there are multiple dubs out there, and
With different plots.
yeah, with like entirely different plots written around them, which makes it a little hard for us to try to describe the one that we watched. I guess we can tell you the Blu-ray that we watched.
Well,
like,
we
what
got
company.
we got the plot where they duel to the death.
Yeah,
Yes.
right.
That's the one we saw. So watch that version. If
I
you
mean,
can.
I mean, the
There's some
basic
plot twists
the
on the way
basic-
to the duel to the death.
I mean, honestly, the main plot is never really completely fully explained. I don't know. It's basically just, hey, we are going to have this organization where we're going to have Japan's best swordsman and China's best swordsman fight. I don't know
Every
that-
10 years.
I don't know that it's ever said for
I didn't
what
catch
other
every
than
10
honor, or I don't know if it's
Yeah.
any for stakes other than honor. I don't, I think it's just maybe a way to sort of keep the peace.
It's bragging rights.
Yeah, I think it's just like, hey, sort of like Super Bowl or whatever, was just like keep the peace between barbarians.
It's like the Olympics, but with swords, more swords, solely swords, only swords.
sure. So this is about
Subscribe to
happen.
my only swords.
So this is about to happen. The two swordsmen are arriving, but other forces are trying to prevent the duel from even happening. Again, not even really sure why. I don't know what's in it for them.
Dishonor.
The coherent storytelling is not this movie's strength.
Okay, I can explain what this
Thank you.
track is trying to explain anyway. Now,
Okay.
whether it's this original scripted thing, I don't know. But the common theme in a lot of Chinese films is that Japan is insane. Japan is just fucking nuts. Like, China's just over here living their best life, and we're nice. And Japan comes in, and they're just like, fuck all y'all. Everything about you sucks. We're taking it all from you.
Like how they just murder the puppeteer for no reason.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Japanese in these movies, especially the period ones, are ones where it's just like they're insane. Like, we're just over here meditating and, being nice and, being with nature and stuff. And they come in and they wreck everything. Their plan the entire time was to steal the secrets of Chinese Kung Fu so that they could then use it combined with their superior martial arts skills and then use both of them to take over China because they won't have any defense against both. Like, if they know everything the Chinese know, and on top of that, they use their superior Japanese skills, they can just run roughshod over the entire country and take it.
Is that why they were kidnapping dudes?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, so the open sequence
They were kidnapping dudes also, just
Yes.
FYI.
Yeah. Yeah, the opening sequence is basically a bunch of ninjas busting into a monastery and stealing scrolls. Well, making copies of scrolls with, like, intricate, like, flinging of like... It's basically almost
Dust.
like it's like dust and, like, almost
like
like contact
fingerprint
paper.
dust, yeah.
It's like they're
It's
basically,
early Napster.
Yeah, they're basically taking like they're basically taking like rubbings almost basically of these things and then like
Saran wraps.
but with like
You don't
crazy,
see how it works until way later.
Their
in the
secret
movie, and
water
it's pretty
revealed
freaking
rubbings.
Cool.
It's like
yeah.
there's no rubbing on it until you get it wet.
I'm pretty sure some people here have had some water revealed rubbings before.
Yeah.
I mean, BJ was just on a cruise, so
I'll tell you about that later. Or
but,
listen to live stream.
but yeah, so that's kind of it. And all the monks are like, "Hey, what's going on?" And ninjas are out. I mean, they try to send main sword guy after him, and they have a brief scuffle. But basically, it's just ninjas going.
Okay,
and
I do love that. Like, all the monks in this monastery are just fighting all these ninjas outside, and then they cut to like the group of 5 abbots and our hero, who's just kind of like
the king of the swordsmen, right?
yes.
Yes.
I
I thought that
King
was
of
the,
Swords.
I thought
The
that was
King
the
of
legless guy. That's not him.
No.
Oh, okay.
it's Chingwan. Is
That
the
guy,
character's
king of
name.
the swords.
Yeah, but he is, and he's just sitting there meditating, like, and you can hear this sword fight going on outside, and then the head abbot's just like, "I can read your thoughts. You want to test your kung fu against them," which is like, that's what you want to hear. That's what you want to hear some dude say to another dude.
Yeah.
While there's all sorts of shit going down outside.
While there are 50 ninjas.
yeah,
And that dude levitates and flies out of the room.
Backwards.
backwards.
He doesn't even get up from lotus pose. He just
No.
goes whoop.
Yeah, he just kind of kicks the ground.
Yep.
And floats backwards through the door.
Yeah, is that the first? Like, I mean, I know the ninjas have been able
ninjas
to do
have
some
been flipping
super
around.
jumps and flips.
Yes.
but none of them are like this, where it's suddenly like you've got magic or
I
some
think this
shit.
is the first like full like
wire food
yeah
type
wire food
thing.
type
Yeah.
thing. So
Yeah.
because I mean the ninjas are just kind of like surprise we jumped out of the trees.
Yeah,
Now,
whereas,
Lots of unnecessary
this guy,
flips.
and we're not talking like he just jumps back and goes out of the room. He
No.
like flies like 45 feet, smashes through a wall, and is immediately in the middle of fighting a bunch of dudes.
Right.
In
Yes.
one motion.
Yeah, I mean I feel like this honestly this feels like the shot that the Matrix used. That what like I believe it's like the first time it's revealed like that the kind of shit can happen in the Matrix because I want to say like Neo and Morpheus are fighting and he punches at him and Morpheus just goes backwards very similarly and Neo's like the fuck like we can do this now. I'm just saying like I mean I almost feel like maybe it was that what might have been like a direct homage to like this just being the first like oh shit people can fly in this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but then he fights off a whole bunch of ninjas before they finally. They bury one of the things in the sand, and then they all just kind of like throw down, ninja smoke, and
They don't just peace out because they
yeah,
suicide
some
bomb.
of them do. Yes, yeah. Some of them peace out, and then the other ones they peace out by lighting dynamite on themselves somehow and just tackling monks
and they both explode.
and exploding and blowing up monks. You're
Well,
like, whoa.
except they apparently don't because they were really just kidnapping the monks. It turns out later. I mean, they have a room full of like all the
No, there were a lot of monks at this place. I
Okay,
mean, there
okay,
were a
all right.
lot of monks
Okay, so
chasing
some
them
of
around.
some of them are monk chunks, I guess, but the other ones get kidnapped.
Yeah.
So
That's the new Ben and Jerry's flavor.
chunky
Monk
monkey.
chunks.
There it is. Yeah. But from here, they're just kind of like, all right, it's time for the duel to the death every 10 years. And so now it's a matter of getting both our main guy, our main Chinese fighter, Qing Wan,
The King of Swords.
King of
and then
Swords.
we're introduced to Hashimoto,
Mhm.
who is the,
Lord of Swords.
yeah, who is the Japanese.
The Duke of Swords.
They never really call him a samurai, but
No.
I mean,
He's just the master swordsman
yeah,
of Japan. He has
yep,
been
he's
chosen.
the one who's been chosen by the shogun to go.
Yeah.
And there's also another guy who's kind of like,
The Shogun was like, "Go show sword."
the I guess he's the shogun's emissary, kind of.
This is the guy with the staff.
Yeah,
The jingly fucking staff that
the-
never
Yeah.
stopped fucking jingling.
crime stick. Yeah.
yeah, because again, we're
Thank you.
the storytelling in this is kind of all over the place, and like we've said, there may be different plots that are
Mhm.
part of a different version of this. But he just kind of shows back up at the monastery, and is like, talking shit about China, and where he's basically just like, yeah, Chinese people are cool, but they also suck because they're not Japanese, and
Yeah. Well, that's
we're
like
better at everything. So
that's right after the ninja attack, really,
Yeah.
because they're like, "Hey, welcome to our school. It's good to have you." And he's like, "Yeah, it's okay. Japan's better, and all of this sucks. You guys
Yeah.
are cool and all, but listen,
yeah,
we're way
gonna
better
have
than
to
you."
work you over.
It's like, listen, fucker, don't come into my house. And
Yeah, and then he's like, all right, so who's gonna fight me?
yeah,
And then
exactly.
like picks fights until the monk is just like, I will fight you.
I heard you were warriors. Why
Yeah.
aren't you fighting me? It's
Yeah.
like, we don't just fight people, you crazy human.
Yeah.
Stop being crazy.
But yeah, he fights the monk for a little bit until Qingwen just kind of
He flies in.
flies in, rips part of that guy's jacket off, and
He's like the dogs you see in those videos where like two cats are fighting and a dog runs in and just barks at him for a second and they go, "Whoa."
Yeah.
That's what he does. He immediately just like breaks it up and they declare a winner. They're like, "Hey, you won. All right, cool." So,
well, yeah, like the Japanese guy's like, yeah, I won.
Yeah.
That's cool.
yeah.
And then he turns and walks away.
Yeah,
and
and
he's
it's
got a
kinda-
piece of his tunic ripped out that the King of Swords ripped out.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And King of Swords and his abbot kind of look at each other like, yeah, nice.
Yeah. So you can see that?
Yeah.
I took his shirt.
Take your fucking shirt.
Yeah, but then they're like, all right, you got to go do this thing.
Mm-hmm.
So
And the difference between the two main dudes is that the Chinese hero is basically like, well, it's an honor to be chosen for this. I'm pretty good at swords. Let's see what happens.
mhm.
I don't
I'm
think I'm
so pretty good at swords. They call me the King of Swords.
I don't think I'll lose. It's going to be fun. Let's see what happens.
Mhm.
The Japanese guy is basically like, I don't think you understand. I have to murder. Like, put someone in front of me, I'm going to murder them. But he's real chill about it. He's like super like cool about the whole thing. He's just like, I'm going to have to take this sword and murder someone to death with it because that's what I do. That's
Yeah.
how I get off. That's just
Just totally Hannibal Lecter about it. Just
Yeah.
like, oh, I'm just gonna have to murder someone.
I,
it's just listen.
I can't finish unless I kill him.
It's in my nature.
Yeah.
I have to do this. Because he is confronted over the course of the film with numerous opportunities to go, maybe this is not the right path, and he is still on the path.
Mhm.
Like, he's just like, okay, this whole thing is rigged, and it's stupid, and this shouldn't have happened. We're going to fight anyway.
Yeah, I mean, this very much feels like a Chinese commentary on the whole Japanese honor thing.
Mhm.
And they're like, well, what if what you're honoring is really stupid? Yeah, I mean, that's basically what this movie is telling this character.
Yeah.
Is like, how about no? Like, you ever think about maybe just like no?
Yeah, why don't you just not?
Yeah, and he's like, what? No,
Yeah, I mean,
I cannot not.
there's a lesson to be had about honor is great, but like when it becomes blind compliance,
Yeah.
like I mean, you could have an interesting story there about
Mm-hmm.
when there's corruption. It's like, oh shit.
Yeah,
Anyway,
well,
whatever.
I mean,
but no,
yeah.
it's
By
what
the
it-
end of the movie, it kind of gets there with that character.
sort of,
Yeah.
yeah, maybe, yeah, I
Yeah,
guess, yeah.
because it's really there's a few twists there, but I mean, it's shown like it's what he's doing is stupid
Mhm.
because nobody really cares.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but yeah, so they eventually go through a town like where there's a festival, I guess.
It's a
Are they
celebration.
both there?
Yeah,
is
this is like
Hashimoto
a-
there as well.
Yeah,
As-
this is like a welcoming, like, hey, everyone come. The fight is going. It's like the pregame ceremony,
Mhm.
basically, opening ceremonies
Tailgating.
for the tailgating, basically. So
Yeah.
there are puppet shows and vendors.
Yeah.
You can get
There are people selling Chinese swords, and two of the Japanese guys are like, hey, get a load of these fucking shitty swords. How do you kill somebody with this fucking sword? And the vendor's like, bro, come on. Get the fuck out of here.
those are for
That's
children,
rude.
man.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so there's like a puppet show happening depicting the two fighters, and in the puppet show version, the Chinese puppet wins and embarrasses the Japanese man. The Japanese guests don't care for this, so they murder the puppeteer.
Yes.
And that's when we meet like the third main character, which is this lady who literally flies in. Like, I don't know where she was perched, but she literally flies in. Like, what's all this then? And they're like, we killed that guy. What are you going to do about it? We're Japanese.
Yeah, and they're laughing about it,
Yeah.
being real dicks.
And the widow's over there crying,
Yeah.
obviously, because her husband puppet man just got fucking murdered. And
I kind of love this, honestly,
It's good.
because
This
she hands the widow the sword,
Yeah.
her sword, and just goes, "Here,
hold this.
hold this." and she's like not sure if she should kill the guy, but she's like staying there crying.
Yeah, but she's holding it two hands, like
Yeah.
at her chest, like straight out,
Yeah.
and then just standing there, kind of crying.
Yep. And then this lady, like, it happens so fast,
Yeah.
but she just like jumps up, slices the one guy's throat, and just chucks the other one.
Okay, so I love this scene because not only does she just steps up to them, and as they're trying to draw their swords, she bats their swords back into the scabbards,
Yes.
and then grabs the other guy's sword and slices him with it, and
Yes.
then
Yeah.
Pushes the other guy into the lady.
then pushes
holding
the other guy into
Yeah,
the lady.
the guy who actually killed the husband
Yes.
is the one who gets run through by the lady, and the lady's just like, did I just do that? What the fuck?
Yes. She has now been double traumatized.
Yeah.
Her day is real bad.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a widow and a murderer.
Yes. All at
Yeah,
once.
and this is the first time I feel like the other, like, the exploding ninjas have blown up people, but it was like bloodless.
Yes.
If there's a way to put it that way, despite blowing up a bunch of
They weren't bloody
monks.
chunks. It was just
Yeah,
smoky
it's-
chunks.
Yeah, and this is like that guy's throat just like splashes everywhere. You're like, God damn.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, this movie bounces back and forth between comical violence and, oh, good lord.
Yeah.
Because sometimes it's like Monty Python and the Holy Grail level of arms getting lopped off, and you're like, wait, what? And then other times it's just like stab the ground and it's a blood fountain pouring out.
Yeah.
You're like, whoa, what?
Yeah, but so this festival's finally over. It's a very noisy, bad scene in the dub, for sure.
Okay, so this is a perfect time to talk about the noise in this movie.
Yeah.
Because I was already real annoyed at the sound. And this is the point where I was like, oh my god, make it stop. I would put a pencil in my ear, whatever would make it stop just shredding my brains from the inside out. Most of the range, like most of the tonal range of this movie is fine. But there's something towards the high end of the treble that they just fucking cranked it way up, and it just assaulted my ears the entire time.
Yeah, there's a running background track on almost every populated scene, like
Yeah.
something like some kind of like repetitive loop.
Well, every
happening.
scene takes place in either where there's a roaring something.
Right. Yeah. I mean, it's either.
Ocean.
I mean, there's one like the party scene almost sounds like it has a constant subway train going through it. There's just like a clackety clack, clackety clack, clackety, and like a. You got sound the whole time, just like through the whole fucking thing, and it's just like the fuck is happening here.
And I know it's supposed to be party music, but it's shrill as fuck.
Yeah.
And it's like
Bad Foley guy.
oh,
Yeah,
it's
and again,
so
it could
painful
be
to
this
listen to.
mix, like, and that's
Could
the
be.
thing. Like,
It is. I mean, it is the mix. I mean, they're working with mono tracks to begin
Sure,
with,
sure.
and they just didn't have the resources to.
You couldn't just like roll the treble off a little bit for me, help a brother out.
They like them
Nope.
tinny. Like when you describe something as being tinny sounding, it's like, yeah, it's like chewing
Well,
on a
Yeah,
penny.
it's like chewing on
That's very tin.
Or aluminum
tinfoil that's
foil.
shooting a laser into your brain
Oh,
from the
no.
inside.
Yeah, because I mean, the soundtrack
death
at
laser.
times is very synthy. There's a very synthesizer soundtrack, so there's that. There's the constant background noise of either the ocean or a large crowd or a babbling brook or just a flooded area that people are stomping through. It's just
There's also like a tingling bells sound that they have.
the
dear
lady is
God.
denoted by tingling bells whenever
Yeah.
she moves. It's not
Yeah.
the bells on the guy's stick. It's just her motif.
It's-
Is
That
like,
guy's bells suck,
It's
too.
like Tinkerbell bells, like fairy bells, like
And
the
it's-
really high pitched ones.
it's weird because like when that lady is introduced and eventually both characters meet her, the movie wants those characters to think that she's a dude. Like she's apparently
Yeah.
supposed to be in disguise, but not for
Nope.
a second did I ever think that's
No.
a dude. I was like, "Hi, lady. There's a lady in this movie. That's cool."
Yeah.
But
It's weird.
Because later the dude is like, "Hey, you should be a lady, and not
Yeah.
try to be a dude." And she's like, "Okay."
I assume that was her dress, which was kind of lost on us by the fact that, like, you know, we kind of see everybody wear everything now. It's not really a big deal.
Mhm.
Yeah, I mean, it's like
Yeah,
just seeing a lady in pants back, 200 years ago, be like, what?
pantaloons.
It was
okay,
probably-
what have you
trousers
done?
if you want to get
You're right.
all.
It probably is the pants thing.
international. Yeah,
Yeah,
just saying.
Like, oh
We're-
no, pants.
we're just too culturally removed for it to register to us.
Right.
But we're just like, hey, that's a lady.
Sure.
That, like it like because when he's like, let's drop the act, you're a lady, right?
Yeah.
You know,
I mean,
it's
it's
like,
not-
wait,
it's-
what?
It's not the crying game. It's
Yeah.
very much like, oh yeah, all right.
Yeah, we're all
Hello,
kinda
lady, and then they're like, "You're a lady," and it's like, "Yeah,
Like, we're
dude."
like, oh, that was a shock.
Like,
Okay.
you dumb idiot. King of Swords, you're blind. King of Swords, you dumbass.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah, because she also fights Hashimoto.
Mhm.
That just on the road, like, hey, fight me.
fight me. I'm
and
here.
he's like, bitch, no. And eventually she like makes him draw a sword and fight her, but
Yeah.
then
He's like, "I don't fight women," and then just strolls away.
yeah,
Nope. And
like
she's
he
like,
basically he does the super fast sword thing on her and like backs her up into a corner and then is like, I don't fight women.
mm-hmm.
Bye. And so just leaves her, and then how does the King of Swords end up hanging out with her? Because she gets cut by somebody or something, right?
Yeah, they are at a waterfall.
Yeah, I mean they're
Doing-
hanging out at the waterfall, but what
I think the
what
ninjas-
happens before
Yeah, I think
that?
ninjas.
I think
just, like,
ninjas
explode
attack.
out of nowhere.
Yeah.
And attack her.
Yeah, okay, that's the other thing about this movie.
Hashimoto and the ninjas are on the same side.
Well,
Right.
technically,
You would think that's-
Hashimoto's a bad guy.
That's-
he doesn't know anything about the
Right.
ninjas.
I thought he knew something about the ninjas.
He finds
Jingle
out
Stick guy.
later.
Okay,
Yeah.
so it's
Yeah.
only Jingle Stick.
Yeah, Jingle Stick.
Yeah.
But the thing about the ninjas,
Come up with a better name for him,
Yeah,
Chuck. I
yeah,
dare you.
The thing about the
Jingle Stick
ninjas-
Unchained is the one who set
Yeah.
the ninjas on. Yeah.
in this movie is they attack everybody.
The jingles were on a chain.
Yeah. the ninjas are like hornets. They're like
Yes.
nature's assholes.
Yes.
They're just like, hey, are you here? I'm gonna fucking attack
Yeah.
you. And it's like, no, I'm just
Oh, that's more like horseflies.
Yeah,
Horseflies
Yeah.
are nature's biggest asshole.
sure.
Yeah. They're just like, we can bite you,
Yeah.
and
I will fucking wait here for 20 minutes while you're underwater.
Yeah.
And just
I'm
I
gonna
know where
land
you
on
are.
your face as soon as you come up, no matter
Either
what.
way, ninjas, like, what's their natural enemy? Life. Because they try to kill everything in
Yes.
this movie at some point.
Yes. Oh yeah.
Like to the point where we're just like, fucking ninjas again. Like any if there's been any lapse in action, like a pack of ninjas is going to attack somebody,
Well,
and it doesn't even matter if they're on their side.
you got to have like a once a quarter service, or you just get infested with ninjas. Like
Yeah.
you got to get a treatment.
I mean, you got to get the ninja package. If
I
you
mean,
didn't
clearly-
get the ninja package,
I mean,
Can you get
clearly-
Terminex for ninja?
This is what happens. They were in China, Japan. They already know. They're already hip to the ninja problem.
Yeah,
They-
Japan knows.
Yeah, they're already sprayed everywhere.
They're
and
exporting the
yeah.
ninjas.
Then they were like,
It's like kudzu. It's like
they're
get
driving.
The fuck out
They're
of
driving them out of their natural
Yeah.
habitat.
yeah,
into
these were
other places.
basically like the the African bees. They were migrating here,
Right.
and they were weaponized ninjas.
Ninja-fied swordsmen.
Yeah, yeah, they were the Wu-Tang killer bees on the scene.
Yes.
here. Uh-huh.
yeah,
Yeah, but
But-
yes,
So
ninjas are doing their
attacked
job.
her as well.
Yeah, because they will just suddenly, out of nowhere, fucking explode into the scene and just fuck shit up.
Yeah.
Just fuck shit up. And the normal people in the scene are always like, what the fuck? And then they just go about their business. It's just no one ever goes into the next scene and says, fucking ninjas.
Yeah,
Did
the
you
only
see
thing
that
is,
shit?
like, every once in a while, her father. Okay, moving forward, her father is the one who's hosting the duel to the death.
Yes.
And they got like this whole cavern underneath where they've got all the graves of all the warriors who have fought in the duel to the death in the past, and how people have forgotten them.
Yeah, the place
And-
is dank.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
it is a dank cavern.
Dank in the traditional sense.
That's pretty cool too.
Yeah.
I mean,
I mean, it is a pretty sweet fucking cavern. But,
Yeah.
you know, they got.
it's dank in both
Yeah.
ways.
But either way, so her father, and he's the only one who'll ever be like, "Oh, we're sorry about that whole ninja thing," because like he's just like, "Yeah, we got raccoons. They go through your trash.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
We've tried to
it
get
just
rid of
keeps
them.
happening. Yeah,
You spray
You-
and you,
you-
can't do anything.
you trap them, you bring them like miles away to the state park, and somehow they're back. And
Yeah, you got to wrap your trash, man.
Well, they're on wires, so they need to, at the source, they need to clip the wires. Because yeah,
But
like at
so
one
he
point,
keeps apologizing to people for all the ninjas.
yeah, it's like, listen, sorry, ninjas happened.
Yeah. Do you want ninjas?
We sprayed
'Cause
for ninjas, but we
this is
still
how you
got
get
ninjas.
ninjas.
Get ninjas. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
But otherwise, now it's just a matter of like Hashimoto going, "We must duel to the death," and the King of Swords going, "Yeah, but what if we don't?"
Yeah.
Like, because his whole thing is like, all these people are dead, and nobody cares that they died. What'd they die for? You know, and Hashimoto's like, "Well, they died for honor." He's like, "Yeah, but
Mm-hmm.
but
Good point.
so." Like, even the guy who owns this place is like, no one cares about our family anymore or the duel.
Yeah.
You know, it's just like, so why are we even doing this?
Well, because swords and
Yeah.
honor.
Right.
Yeah.
And there's
And Hashimoto's like, yeah, well, we're doing it because it's kind of fucking metal.
Yeah, and that,
Yeah,
that
Hashimoto's-
dank ass cavern ain't
Yeah.
gonna fill itself.
actually it will if the
Oh.
water keeps flowing
That's
the way
well,
it is
right.
through
Yeah.
that cave.
I mean, I assume it just flows through. I mean, the cave might actually be getting bigger
But
through
I
time.
I do like the relationship between the two of them because they are just kind of like, they're not like, I must break you, you're going to fucking lose. They're just like, hey, if we fight, we fight, and whoever wins lives.
Yeah, they're
So-
kind of palling around the whole time. They're not
Yeah.
at odds with each other. They're like, we're gonna fight and I'm gonna kill you, but not until then.
Yeah, I mean, it's-
Hashimoto does have a big boner for murdering.
oh well, yes.
Well, he's
but,
got more of a boner for just like this thing happening.
yeah. It's like I want to prove myself. I will kill you, but
Yeah.
he's not gonna do it. He's not gonna like sneak into his room or anything.
No, he's
and that's
he's
the thing. He wants it all
doing
to
it
be
the honorable way
on
for
the
sure.
level.
Right.
That's
Yeah.
why he's very upset by what is revealed.
But-
He's
the ninjas.
he's pretty much Ivan Drago. He's just I must break you, and like I'm 100% about this mission, no matter what happens, no matter who talks about it.
yeah, but Ivan Drago knew he was cheating because
Yeah.
they were injecting him with steroids.
With what's?
Well,
Steroids.
Oh,
I mean, this guy
steroid
knows about the
juice.
ninjas eventually, and is kind of like, hey, that's not cool, but whatever.
He's very
Yeah.
much like, this is not cool. You and I are
fine.
still gonna fight, but you just need to know that this shit ain't cool.
True.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, he keeps trying to because they get attacked by ninjas again, like just a rando ninja thing. And there's also like a scene with with kite ninjas. And
There are
and, one-
ninjas,
and
yeah.
one of the dudes, I guess one of the Japanese dudes, he's only shown up in the city scene, and then he shows up in this scene, and he's
Yeah.
got like a scimitar, and I'm like, that guy's fucking cool.
There were a couple of dudes,
and he just doesn't show up again.
yeah, there were a couple of dudes that the movie presents as like these are going to be secondary characters who will probably play a role in the finale or something like that because they have very obvious looks to them. Like this guy's like sort of a silver-haired Bruce Lee kind of looking
Yeah.
guy, and yeah, he gets attacked by kite ninjas. They just fly in. There's 3 of them.
On square kites.
Yeah, they just silently fly in on
They
these 3
swoop in
kites
like pterodactyls.
and try to fuck with them, and then eventually don't. But then, like, it's fucking Apocalypse Now. There's 90 sky ninjas coming in,
Yeah.
all on these kites, and that's kind of the end of that
Yeah.
guy.
Do you see this James Gunn Kite Man for Suicide Squad 3 or whatever we're calling it?
Kite man.
Yeah. And also, the ninjas come back to claim the scroll that they had buried.
Mm-hmm.
And
Very important
they
scroll.
get that, and she tries to stop them, but eventually gets cut. And then the King of
That's
Swords.
how she gets cut.
Yeah, and the King of Swords, they chase them off, kind of,
Mm-hmm.
but we see how the scrolls are revealed because they unroll it out of the thing, drop it in the water, and text appears on it.
Yeah.
And then I guess they roll it back up, and then they're like,
They
all
just,
right.
They just confirm that this is the scroll they
Yeah,
buried in
and
the
then they're
sand
like-
and not some other scroll that got buried in the
Yeah,
sand.
and then they're like, smoke bombs, ninjas out.
Yes. They do have some purple sparkly stuff every so often.
Yeah.
Like they kind of explode into fireworks.
Yeah.
It's not just because I believe it's
Well, they were in
They-
China. They were readily available. Just
Sure.
went down the street.
But I think it's that scene where they just start throwing like smoke missiles at them,
Yeah.
like constantly, like they're in a circle and just constantly firing these smoke bombs at them. But it's not a bomb; it's shooting straight at them, and they're swinging swords and getting them all out of the way. And
yeah.
everything.
And there's a lot of scenes of them throwing shurikens, and it's
Yes.
always fucking cool because
Constantly.
they just do the thunk, thunk, thunk as it hits a tree or something. Nobody ever gets killed by one.
No one even gets hit. By
They
one.
throw hundreds of them in this movie.
At one point, they literally throw him like jacks at the guy, and he's just like, "Ah, no!"
Yeah.
Well, I think he rips a piece of the bark off the tree.
He
and
slices
blocks
a piece
yeah.
of the bark off the
Yeah,
tree.
like,
Yeah.
like a
Levitates
6 foot.
it.
Yeah.
Like a 6 foot slice of
Yeah.
bark.
Because I mean, there are scenes where they are hiding inside trees.
There's one in that scene. The one who cuts her
Yeah.
was buried in the sand.
Yes,
That man was dead.
Yes.
No, they have the reeds, like
I don't
Robin did.
know.
Yeah, but he just explodes out of the sand and cuts her because she's like, "Where the fuck did you come from?"
And isn't there at one point one ninja who is behind another ninja and cuts the front ninja in half in order to get to?
No, the swordsman cuts that ninja
Okay.
in half.
Okay.
Yeah.
And the other ninja just kind of is like, coming through.
Yeah.
Yes. He's like,
On
thanks
your-
for the path.
Center.
Yeah.
Surprise,
and-
second ninja.
Time
We'll
to
get,
buy.
we'll get back to that part, but holy shit. But yeah, ninjas once again, like there are so many scenes of ninjas fucking things up that I don't even like. I'm just trying to remember a few of them for context.
It's constant.
Yeah,
Like, at
and-
one point, they're like
is-
like an air tram.
Yeah, and-
coming through the woods.
Yeah.
And the thing is that Hashimoto realizes that it's the other dude because he goes back to that guy's room.
Mr. Jangles.
Yeah, Mr. Jangles.
Senor
and Mr. Jangles is
Oh,
doing
it's Mr. Bowstaff James.
Yeah. There it is.
There we go.
My man.
We
Yeah.
finally got it.
My
There it
man.
is. That's his name. I knew we'd come
yeah.
to it.
So Mr. Bowstaff Jangles he's in ninja garb and he was fighting the sword fighting Hashimoto at some point, and then they both clashed swords and he got wide-eyed and he ran away.
Mm-hmm.
Probably because he thought he was going to be recognized.
Yes.
But he ends up going back to his room and then doing the whole hands out, hiding in the rafters
Yeah,
thing.
just by jumping up backwards and
Yeah.
landing in that position.
These ninjas do a lot of backwards jumping.
Yes.
Backwards I am jumping.
Yeah.
But but Hashimoto goes in the room, sees that guy's garb is just hanging up, and his jangling bow staff is on the wall, and he's like, "Wait a minute!" And then he storms out.
Yeah.
Hey, Mr. Bowstaff Jangles doesn't
Yeah.
go anywhere without his
Yeah.
Bowstaff the
And,
Jangles.
and then the next scene is them eating dinner, and again, ninjas
Mhm.
are trying to poison
Okay.
the King of Swords' drink.
Okay. Here's the thing, and this
What's
is
the thing?
this is weird about this because I believe what the implication is going to end up being is that they have somehow poisoned the guy who is hosting the tournament or the contest, because there is a scene later where the King of Swords and the lady are walking down a hallway, and he will say after things have been revealed, and he says, "I will get the antidote."
Okay.
So
yeah.
the implication is that the dude didn't necessarily conspire to do the thing. He was poisoned, and it fucked up his brain.
That's what it is?
That's
Well, there's
I can only
Because
assume from
I
that.
could have sworn it was because Hashimoto's about to stop
Yes,
the King of Swords from drinking his drink.
he does stop him.
Well,
and
wait,
just-
okay, wait, which one's King of Swords? King of Swords is not the
It's the Chinese
Yeah,
guy.
right,
Good
right,
guy.
right. But I mean, I'm pretty sure. Okay, so the ninjas that were doing the string poison
Yeah,
thing,
they do the string
poison thing was I'm pretty sure that was over that guy.
It
that-
looked like it was
or
over.
over the
I
legless
thought so
guys.
too.
man.
The King of
but
Swords.
there's a
It was
weird,
impossible to tell.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
there's a weird implication later that the guy hosting the tournament has also been poisoned,
Okay.
and that he's not in his right mind.
All right.
So I assumed at some point
Yeah.
they had a second.
Yeah, because what happens
Poison
is,
string.
is they're about to drink and Hashimoto is about to stop him.
Or maybe Mr. Bojangles was always bad, and he turned the Chinese host into, to his side with the point. Whatever. It
Oh,
doesn't matter.
Yeah.
he absolutely
Yeah.
was bad. Because when they all stop each other from drinking, he's just like, whatever,
Well,
they didn't poison me.
He's
What
about
the
to
fuck?
stop him from stopping him
Yes.
from drinking.
He's like, hey, don't you want to not do that?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, and they say something like, maybe we should all drink together, and
Yeah.
it's like, haha, no. And then someone tries to fly up through the ceiling, and they're like, "He's
Yeah, the
already
girl
gone."
tries to stop
That's
them.
her.
Yeah.
That's her police powers of
Right.
just like, I'll take
Yeah.
care of this.
Yeah, and they're like, he's already gone. And he's like,
Well, yeah,
oh,
and
well.
the
Swords
King
is
of
like-
Swords seem to know about
Yeah.
it too. It's
And then,
really
then he's like, whatever, bottoms up. I mean, you
Yeah.
can't.
yeah, it's
turn-
really weird.
I'm
Again,
already on
hard to
Japan's
tell.
So-
side.
Also, meanwhile, in ninja news,
Uh-huh.
they've been kidnapping monks and other people because, like we said,
All
they
of
were
them.
trying to
All the monks.
to save all their powers. And so the abbot that we had seen earlier is just out walking the fields, and we hear this thump, thump, and he's looking around like, the fuck?
It's very
And
obviously kaiju thumping. Like it
Yeah.
is. It's not earthquakey. It is like, oh shit,
So we
something
hear-
big's coming.
thump, and they show a shot like over his shoulder as a giant shadow falls on him.
Uh-huh.
And this abbot turns around, and there's a motherfucking 15-foot ninja.
It's a great shot. Like that is really
Yeah.
rad.
Yeah, it's like, I don't know if it's forced perspectives, like how they even shot it, but
Oh, it's the Abbott Hobbit technology.
Yeah, yeah.
That
So,
was 24 frames.
however, whatever they did, man, it looks so good
It's really neat.
because it's a giant dude standing in front of him.
And we were like, what? And then we were all also immediately like, no, that's 3 ninjas in a trench coat.
Yeah,
Yep.
Yeah, they all knuckled up and.
A ninja coat.
Turns
now,
out it
now
was
they're up on Thunder Mountain. What is it?
Yeah. The High Noon at Mega
High
Mountain.
Mountain.
turns out it was 6 ninjas in
Oh,
a trench coat
Right.
Animated ninjas.
because they all
It was
burst
like,
apart.
It was a Voltron of ninjas.
Yeah, it was a Ninja Voltron.
Yeah, they came together to form
Yep.
Mega Ninja.
And so he's got to fight 6 of them.
Mhm.
And eventually, like, he kind of fights them off. And then all of a sudden, he's able to, like, slice the clothes off of one of them, who turns out to be a completely naked woman.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And he does the whole, Buddha be praised, and then gets a net tossed on him.
That was not her name. She threw a net.
Yeah. And we're just, like,
We don't know that.
but it comes.
Probably wasn't a net.
Like it
Upon
comes so
him
far
was
out of
cast-
left field to have a giant ninja Voltron stomping around.
There's also like
That becomes a nude woman.
ninjas on kites is way out of left field, and suicide bomb ninjas are way out of left
Yeah.
field.
Everything the
I guess.
ninjas do is like,
Way out of left field.
whoa, what?
The least out of left field thing is the ninjas dripping the poison down a string.
Oh, yeah, that's normal
That's
ninja
the
shit.
most
Yeah,
normal
that's-
ninja
That's
shit.
textbook Ninja
Yeah,
101.
yeah,
I mean,
ninja,
that's
by the ninja book.
That's so
right there.
ninja they put it in a Bond movie.
yeah. You do that shit on opening day. I mean, that's
Yeah.
just
Right.
like, all right, let's
Like,
see.
like, did you go to poison on a string class?
Yeah,
No, well, you
right.
can't go to like
Yeah, no.
throwing star class until you
Yeah,
do poison
and-
on a strings class.
But so from what happens here,
Uh-huh.
speaking of kidnapping, is the King of Swords is out practicing or something, and all of a sudden ninjas go by with like they fly through the air. They're like a ninja monorail,
Yeah.
just flying through the air.
It's like a Disney tram.
Yeah.
It's,
with
it's like,
Boxes.
and they got like the I don't even know what they are, but
It's like the Ark of the Covenant.
yeah, they're like the boxes with the sticks on the side.
Yeah.
And they're just
Yeah.
trucking through the forest, and so he chases them by swinging off of branches and stuff. And this is like these are the ones where it's like, okay, your editing is not working the way you would want it to work, because it's supposed to imply that he's like swinging back and from limb to limb, and he's able to keep up with all these ninjas.
the thing
And
that doesn't work about it is that the flips that he is doing don't match up to the
yeah,
direction
they're
he's
going the
moving.
wrong direction.
So,
yeah.
I mean, the implication is he's
Yeah.
flipping through the woods like Lost World Jurassic Park style.
Yeah, and he runs back to he gets back to the
Oh, I think you mean more like King of the Crystal Skull.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah.
He's Shia LaBeoufing.
I was just thinking of the parallel
oh
bars.
god,
that-
I had forgotten that shit. Why did you just put that back in my fucking brain?
That's my perfect example.
Oh
of-
my
of
God,
the-
why did
of
you-
Don't
the-
you put that evil on me?
that's my perfect example of like the stupid skill that will get talked about by a character that will
Oh.
somehow come into play by Act 3.
Why did you remind me that he swings through the fucking vines? Oh,
With monkeys.
Oh my god.
Oh, you talking about Shia? Or which one are you complaining
Shia
about?
LaBeouf.
Yeah, of course.
fucking
I
I'd forgotten, and now my anger's back. God damn it! And they're making a 5th one. What the?
That's all right.
Sorry.
Chewbacca also does a Tarzan yell in Return of the Jedi, so let's not forget that.
You're right.
Everybody,
anyway.
everybody was fucking stupid,
Anyway,
and they still
so he LaBeoufs his way back to the home base
Yes, yeah.
and runs in, and there's the host, the woman's father, with his legs cut off, and he's like,
Oh no.
and he's like, motherfucker, they're in there.
For half a second-
save my daughter.
For half a second, I wasn't even sure what I was looking at, and then you're like, "Oh, those are your legs."
Yeah.
Like they have,
Yeah.
because there's not like a blood spray. It's just 2 very neat like little cuts
Yep.
that are red and just feet over in odd
Yeah.
places, and you're like, "Oh no, they cut off your legs."
And he's like, yo, dog, I got no legs.
yeah, Lieutenant Dan.
Get me a skateboard and a thing I can shake.
Is that a Trading Places or Kids reference?
Kids.
Okay, just checking.
Yeah. Anyway, so he goes
Hot
in.
kids reference.
There's 4 ninjas fighting the daughter.
Yeah.
And then he jumps in, is about to start fighting them, and a trapdoor springs. He falls into a net in a very dark room, looks around, sees all the other, like the abbot and the other guys just hanging there as if they had
And
been
he's like, "Hey, Abbott."
captured. Yeah,
hate
like
that guy.
same way. They're just hanging like
they're in spider webs.
Yep, like they're caught in spider webs, and they're all like drugged out and weird.
Mm-hmm.
And then this is when the host like suddenly opens the door, and he's like got crutches, and he's like, "You didn't know I was a cripple, did you? Ha ha! How stupid are you?" And
He's like,
keep in mind-
how could you be the King of Swords and not have seen this coming? And I'm like, no one on the fucking planet would have expected what just happened.
Yeah.
This is insane.
Yeah. And you've been walking normally. You've shown no signs of anything up to this point.
Ninjas just exploded out of trees, and we ran back here to tell you, and a trapdoor opened, and I fell into the netherworld, and you're mad at me for not expecting that to happen.
It was more like the net third world.
Yeah. So I guess from this point, my understanding is that
Okay.
now the daughter is supposed to fight Hashimoto, because Hashimoto's like, we're still doing this, right?
I don't think she's supposed to.
That
but
sure
she is-
seemed like the implication.
Well, she
was
is
that,
part of the conspiracy that's happening here.
Well, her dad's giving her some kind of weird, like, you're such a disappointment guilt trip thing, to which
Yeah.
she's just like, oh, yeah, I've got to restore honor, so I'll fight you. And it's like, that doesn't accomplish anything.
When King of Swords convinced her to be a girl and
Uh-huh.
she put on a dress, the father was watching
Right.
the the wardrobe change
Yeah.
Mhm.
and was just, son, I am disappoint,
Yeah.
daughter, and then gives her a speech of,
Wait, he's watching his daughter change clothes?
he did.
That's weird.
He's a weird guy.
Oh, right.
He's got no legs.
That doesn't make
Doesn't
somebody
make it
weird.
weird.
I believe
way
he
he-
demonstrates.
The way he reacted to it is
Well,
weird.
I
but
mean,
he was basically like, you were a disappointment to
I
me.
suppose pretending you know,
Well-
that you have legs, only to then go, haha, I don't actually have legs. You're fucking stupid.
Yeah,
that
that's
makes
weird.
you a weird person.
That's weird.
That,
I didn't
that,
just mean because
yeah.
he didn't
that
have
quality
legs.
of not having legs makes you
Yeah,
a weird
and
person. Yeah.
and we jumped ahead, but like Hashimoto has had meetings with Mr. Bojangles at this point, and is like, dude, fair fight, quit fucking with this. And he's like, the Shogun gave me orders. I have to make this happen no matter
He showed
what.
him a scroll.
He's
Yeah.
like, here, read the orders.
Yeah, and it's
I have a permit to be an asshole.
and he's yeah, it kind of you know what, that is exactly it.
It is, yeah. It's like, this gives me the power to do whatever I want.
Yeah.
Meh. Signed, President of Japan.
Mr. Shogun.
Yes.
Yeah, and he's like, you can't betray the Shogun, and the
Lord of
Shogun
Steakhouses.
the Shogun said, I get to do what I want. You can't do anything about it. And so, and this is the point, like, Hashimoto's just kind of like, all right. And then, and he ends
All
up
right.
meeting with the King of Swords. The King of Swords is like, something doesn't seem like it's on the level here, because they've tried to poison me multiple times. The ninjas keep trying to kill me. I kind of feel like you guys are trying to cheat. And he's like, no, I want a fair fight. I will do everything I can to ensure that happens.
He's like, tune out that noise.
Yeah.
You and me are going to fight,
Yeah.
and that won't matter.
Yeah, he's like, don't sweat the ninjas.
Yes. Just don't worry about it.
Yeah,
It's a good life lesson.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just, when life throws you ninjas.
Just a calming picture of a beach, and it just says, in the
Yeah.
sand, don't sweat the ninjas.
When there were only 987 sets of footprint.
That's when the ninjas were following
That's when
you.
the ninjas were carrying Arks of the Covenant containing all the
All the
Chinese abbots back to Japan.
I mean, that does make sense.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
true.
Yeah. So,
Every part of it.
yeah, but so they've captured the King of Swords at this point. Hashimoto's kind of not involved in it right now.
No.
He's off, like, meditating or something. I don't know. Doing whatever.
Doing
and
what he does.
Is
Yeah,
he just
and-
hanging out by the ocean? Or I know he catches
Yeah.
them at some point
Yes.
where he's just like chilling in the like a little too close to the angry surf.
yeah,
Oh, he's
that's
taking
when they
a-
have the conversation about things not being on the level.
Right. Yeah,
But-
yeah.
He's taking a
But-
surf shower.
Yeah, but as he is, that's right.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Just-
good old saltwater shower.
Just wash all over
Just
me.
really great for your hair.
That's great.
Yeah.
His hair is magnificent.
It is,
good, yeah.
actually. I'm jealous of it. But
Except for the very clear wig lines you can see on it.
Yeah.
yeah,
That's one of the problems with like high def stuff, you know. Like
Yeah.
we always say that it's just like you can see the glue lines for their wig.
yeah.
Whatever.
Yep.
Maybe they wore
But-
glue wigs back then.
But so she walks in on Mr. Bojangles and the father, basically being like, "All right, sounds like it's working.
Yeah.
We're gonna, you guys win.
Good coup here, everybody.
Yeah,
All right, yeah.
you guys win. People respect my family again. I really don't get what the father gets out of this.
Maybe he's getting new legs, like magic legs.
No, this is all a dumb, like, in his whatever he's thinking, whether it be via poison or not. His whole thing is like, no one respects this thing. No one remembers my family members who have been the ones to carry this torch all this time. No one comes up to us in the streets and says, "Hey, good job 10 years ago." No one remembers. Grr, nothing's. right anymore. Everything sucks. And
So this is like basically like if the Madisons were like, what's important is the garden that we own, not what's happening there.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I mean, I know it's a street, but let's say someone owns it.
But
Still.
it's basically I'm selling out my entire country because they don't come and kiss my ass.
Yeah.
It's basically it. That's what he says out loud anyway.
Yeah. Well, she's like, no, I'm not going to betray my own country. I'm not going to do it.
This is not fair. This is not cool.
Then he's like, well, then
Fight.
die. Well, she runs away and she goes and frees the King of Swords.
Yes.
And this leads to
I
them.
thought she freed all of the other dudes as well.
No,
No.
they're gone.
Yeah,
like
no,
like
they
she
get-
frees him.
They get boxed up and
And-
are
okay,
being
they were
taken
boxed
back.
up.
The
Okay.
ninjas
yeah,
are
because
taking
he
I
goes
got it.
back to try and free
I-
them, and
I-
they're
I
all
got it
gone.
now. I got it
yeah,
now.
but she frees him, and then they goes back up, and he's like, "Yo, Dad, guy, what the hell?" And
Mhm.
is about to fight him. She ends up fighting the King of Swords.
Not necessarily. The King of Swords is fighting the dad. She also is trying to fight the dad, but when King of Swords goes in for like a kill shot, she will block it
Mm-hmm.
and then fight her dad. So she's not necessarily fighting him also. She's just like, no, this is my deal.
Okay, yeah, but eventually, like, at some point though, she and the King of Swords are fighting exclusively because the dad is watching them from the
Yes.
side as they're doing whatever they're doing.
Yes. And he's like, yes.
And that's when he jumps in and kicks a cardboard column onto them and knocks the King of Swords, who also kind of like deflects him, and the father ends up stabbing the daughter.
Oh, no.
Killing her.
He does not get deflected out of the way. He sees, so he's been knocked over and he's staggering a little bit. He's standing in front of the daughter.
Mm-hmm.
King of Sword, or the dad is like, time to stab him. He's disoriented and lunges at him. He just fucking jumps out of the way.
Okay.
Like, he does the least honorable thing you could do. He's just like, oh shit, and jumps out of the way. It's fucking force majeure.
It's better than getting stabbed.
Yes.
Better than getting stabbed.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes.
but-
In his
but
case, yes.
The father kills the daughter.
Yes.
That's that. He goes to free the other guys. He's like, nobody here. Well, shit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this weird nether room is empty.
Yeah. And meanwhile, the Mr. Bojangles and the ninjas have words I'd never thought I'd say in one sentence, strung together like that.
Pretty good.
But here we
sentence.
go.
Yeah.
They're walking down the river and they're standing in the way. Hashimoto. It's like, hey, what's this shit? And they're like, I don't know if you know this, but I've got a warrant that says I can be an asshole.
Yes.
So
It's a permit.
I have a license.
yeah, I have a
To be a
license.
dick.
License to douche.
Yeah.
And
It
so-
says Japan
it's
number
it's
one.
a Class D license.
Yeah. Yep. And
It's a good one.
Hashimoto's like, nah, let's not do that. And so he ends up fighting a whole batch of ninjas, in the river, which is pretty cool,
My favorite part of this is that so he is opening the boxes looking for like his teacher and everything, and he opens one and he sees him, and he's like,
Well, this is the King of Swords when he gets there.
yeah, but like
Yeah.
sees him, shuts that, goes to open another one, and they have they put a ninja in one of the boxes, and
Yeah,
he's just like, ah.
Like a spring trap. He's like
Yeah,
a jack in the box.
Yep.
So
Yep. Surprise ninja.
I don't know. It's his name. Could have been a lady ninja. Probably could
Sure.
have been a Jill in a box.
we know there is a lady ninja,
Yeah. We saw her.
Annette.
Nude.
No, she has a net. We don't know that's her name.
You argued it could have been her name. I was trying to back
I was
you
saying
up.
it could have been her name. It might not have been her name. I'm not
Yeah.
assuming.
Yeah. Well, meanwhile, Hashimoto has jumped up onto the top of they basically jumped out of the river up the cliffside. So now they're fighting in a forest up there.
Yep.
Where he's fighting not only Mr. Bojangles but all these ninjas, and then the ninjas hear the King of Swords down there killing the ninja, the surprise ninja, the ninja in the box, and they jump down. So he starts fighting them. He ends up in the forest as well, fighting all of them.
Mhm.
And this is just when shit goes crazy. Like, this is when they're finally like, all right, here's all the action stuff you were kind of hoping would sustain itself. Because, like, this is where he's chopping bark off trees to deflect all of the ninja stars, slicing up ninjas vanish and reappear, and just like,
Yes.
Is this a scene where he stabs the ground and it bleeds?
Yes.
Yeah.
yes.
I mean,
Yeah.
he slices like a tree and it bleeds, or like actually, I think a ninja falls out
Well,
of it.
yeah, they jump. They jump into the air and suddenly turn into leaves.
Right.
But it's actually them at the top of the tree just chopping leaves really fast, like it's
Yeah.
a salad,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and dropping the leaves on him.
But it's a ninja blender.
Yeah.
You never actually see. I mean, you do in this movie, but normally in these kinds of scenes, you don't see the ninjas actually doing the cool thing that makes it look
Yeah.
like they turned into leaves. But
Sure.
here, you just see them up there shaking the trees.
Yeah.
They- they really love their peaches.
Never mind that they were able to teleport up the tree.
Oh, you mean Chuck?
Yeah.
Either way. So, but yes, like he chops a bunch of them up while they're up in the middle of the trees after deflecting all their ninja stars, and like chops another one once he's on the ground, and then just like almost casually like leans over and just stabs the ground next to him, to which blood splurts out of it. And we're like, well, he's not getting slashed by that guy.
That ninja is dead.
Yeah.
He got stabbed in the top of the head.
Meanwhile, Hashimoto's just like, hey man, this is not my duel to the death. I want my duel to the death, and
Yeah.
it's not with you.
I have no problem with these
Yeah.
ninjas.
I was told there'd be punch and pie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so he's got to fight Mr. Bojangles, who's just like, I don't think you understand. I have a permit. And
See?
yeah, he fucks him up pretty good because he ends up chopping off one of his arms, and then he's like, this sucks. I'm still going to fight you. And so he's like, all right, if you really want to do that, I'm going to cut your goddamn head off as you charge at me.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to impale it on a tree, basically
A branch.
a branch sticking out from a tree through your ears.
Uh-huh. He says, now,
Yeah.
Stick around.
no.
Yeah.
So the head, Evil Dead style,
Yeah.
says, a monk feels no pain. And then it fucking explodes.
Yep. This man's severed head explodes.
That's two superpowers. I don't know how you train for that, but one is to be like, if my head ever gets cut off, I'm going to say a cool line, and then I'm going to blow up.
It's his final form. He turned into
Yeah.
Mr. Blowjangles.
Oh, okay. That does make sense also.
Yep. But
I'm glad we finished off that joke.
Okay, sure.
So now the two of them have finally taken care of the ninja problem.
Good.
We hope.
Yeah, well, in terms of this movie, yes, the ninja problem has been taken care
Yeah. And so the King of Swords is like, oh, cool, there's my abbot. Get him on a horse. Let's get out of
of. I
here.
don't know where the horse came from, but he's just
Yeah.
like, get on this horse, guy.
We'll see when one horse loves another horse.
no,
very
no.
much.
I know
Oh.
where the horse came from.
Oh.
I mean, geographically. I don't know where the horse was from.
Arabia?
Maybe.
I don't know.
It's a normal horse.
Okay.
Anyway,
China.
he's trying to leave town. And,
He is. He's
and
like,
Hashimoto is just like, yo,
Wait a minute, buddy.
dude,
duel to the death.
I don't think you heard about the duel to the death. That hasn't happened yet because
Yeah.
it's with you,
Yeah.
and neither of us is dead.
And we haven't dueled.
We haven't dueled yet.
So,
And he's like, bro, it doesn't matter, man. And it really doesn't because literally
does not.
everyone who cared about it is dead.
yeah,
Except for Hashimoto,
Yeah.
who cares the most about it.
he does.
Yeah. Everyone else,
Number
fucking
one
dead.
duel to the death fan,
and he's
Hashimoto.
yeah,
Right here.
and he's just like, well, if you lose someone you care about, you'll duel. And he's like, I've already lost people I care about, man. Like,
Everyone's
I don't give a
dead.
shit. Like all I got here is my abbot. And he's
Everyone
like,
I know is dead.
and Hashimoto's like, not so fast. Fucking chops up the abbot, and that's when he's like, oh, you fucker.
It's like, fine, duel to the death, right fucking now.
It's pretty much
Yeah.
like, okay, there's literally nothing left. Like, it's not even like he's mad about it. He's just like,
It's like, Christ, guy.
all right,
Get this fucking over with.
like that's the
Buddha
last
guy.
thing you could have done.
He's like the ex that won't let you break up with him. So
Right.
you're like, I have to be like the biggest asshole ever. Like I have to go full
Fine,
asshole
I
just
am-
so you will leave finally.
You have to
I am
throw
leaving
rocks.
here to fuck your mother right
Yeah.
now,
Scorched earth.
Yeah, like this
and your
is,
father.
this is the point where he gets to where he's just like, all right, Hashimoto, fucking fine, let's do this.
But my father's dead. That's why I'm bringing a shovel.
Yep.
and they've made such a big deal about this duel to the death.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they had that big party in town, all this stuff, and it's like it ends up being on a cliffside over an ocean.
Yeah.
That nobody witnesses but these two.
Well, they don't go to the officially sanctioned duel to the death. This is just like one of us will know the other one is dead. That's all that matters.
Yeah, like do I walk in with your head?
Yeah,
I
we're
mean,
not,
like what?
No, we're not going to the Coliseum or anything. It's just
Yeah.
like I demand satisfaction
And
in any way.
And I'll say this, like, it's on this cliffside that they were at earlier with like waves splashing up. I mean, this is a dangerous location
Also,
because this is a real ass location
Yeah, it
they're
is.
at, and this is one of
also
those
cool
things.
as fuck.
Yeah, it is
Yeah.
cool as fuck, and it's just like, how did you guys film this? Like legit question.
With cameras.
Yeah, but
You
like, where
ignorant
did you put
slut.
where
Yeah.
did you put the cameras? How did they not get soaked? Like
How
there's
did you not slip off that rock and die?
yeah, this isn't like we have drones. You know, this is 1983. How the fuck did you guys film this?
Yeah.
And I mean, yes, obviously some of it's soundstage shit, but
They
There's
probably
a-
had those kite ninjas just circling
Yeah.
around.
but I mean, there are just a lot of really nice shots of this that you're just like, I don't know how you got this.
Mhm. Yep.
But they
Well, it's a normal.
7 Kings of the Swords died in the production of this.
Yeah, they just had to keep recasting and back film the rest of the movie. Oh, it's this guy now. It's a normal sword fight for maybe a minute
mhm.
or two, and then they launch up into the stratosphere.
yeah, they keep putting their swords underneath them to jump up higher off of their swords.
Yeah.
Something they've established one other time before.
Yes, at least one other time. That they can both do, because when they both arrived at the convention center or wherever the fuck it is, the dad is like, "Come over to my raft. We'll have a good time."
This raft, which looks like just like a floating bit of like peat moss. It's like it's weird. It's
I
like,
thought it was going to be an elephant or
well,
something. was
sure,
gonna
yeah, like,
pop up out
just
of the
a
water.
fucking hippo
Oh yeah, I
just,
forgot about
like,
that part.
Yeah, but he's like, if you come over here, I'll say hi to you. So they jump over, and he pushes, the raft away, and then they have to jump on their swords and bounce off of those and do a bunch
one
of flips.
one bounces off the water,
Mhm.
and the other one does it the midair like
Yeah.
double jump.
So they're doing
Video
that.
game
They're
double
doing
jump.
that
Yeah.
shit in the air.
Yeah.
The problem with this transfer is that it's so clear. Not only can you see the wires,
Oh,
at
yeah.
one point the rigging is clearly in the
Mhm.
shot.
Yeah.
But there are some shots where they're flying around that there are no wires that you can
Yeah.
see. But there are some where it's just like, oh, okay.
Yeah, the UPS ninjas when they're just like trucking through the forest, like that's actually some
Yeah.
really spectacular
Yeah.
wire work. I mean, it's probably just dummies, but I mean, it's like
I didn't see wires
They're also
until
really
this.
stable,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
I didn't
Yeah.
see wires until this scene.
right, yeah.
Yeah.
Of
I saw it,
all
and
the
that
weird
means-
shit
I
happening.
saw one other wire in like one other scene, but it was like one brief insert shot. I will say, this movie has some very fast editing for a movie of this kind. Like,
Mhm.
I don't know. I feel like a lot of these kung fu movies weren't quite so frenetically edited, and that could be a latter day thing too. Like trying to make sense of whatever.
They would do longer
Dub they
takes
did, yeah.
about stuff, but
Yeah.
I guess with the wire
Sure.
shit, it was probably just like we have
Yeah,
to.
I mean,
this.
this almost,
I mean,
I'm
8
saying-
Diagram Pole Fighters a year later, and that
Yeah.
doesn't look anything like
no,
this does.
no.
Yeah, I mean, this is like Michael Bay style, like bam, bam,
Yeah.
bam, like really quick edits.
Yeah, they're just flying
and
and
it
dropping.
seems like
and-
whenever one gets a slash in on one, the other one gets a simultaneous hit,
Yeah.
so to speak.
'cause they're
and-
pretty evenly rated.
Yeah, yeah. So they've cut each other a little bit, but they do the launch into the sky, and when they come back down, they land wrong, or at least the rocks aren't holding them because suddenly that collapses underneath them, and they start tumbling down the side of the mountain.
Mhm.
And as they're tumbling, Hashimoto stabs the King of Swords basically in the right lung.
Yeah.
And the sword is lodged in him.
And that's
He's
what
able to put his sword like into the cliffside
Yeah.
to break the fall of both of them. And he's holding on to Hashimoto while being stabbed by him.
Mhm.
And he is able to throw him back up to the top of the rock face. And keep in mind, they're like a good 50 yards down.
if just forget gravity. He just
Yeah,
he flings
yeah,
him up.
I know,
is
but I'm
also
saying like
able
this isn't
to-
like this isn't like he just kind of tosses him up
Yeah.
to the top. Like I mean, this is like he flings him 50 yards up into the air to get to the top, and is able to follow him despite having been stabbed in the right lung.
They still got one good one long.
Yeah.
I mean,
he's the king of swords.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And to this, Hashimoto goes, "This isn't even. We need to make this even." So he stabs himself in the right lung.
That's. I'm sorry. Like if you're king shit swords guy, you're not going to be like, let's even this up. You just be like, no, I did that.
I think it was more. I took it more to mean like now we're even because you saved my life. Otherwise, would have fallen off the cliff, which I probably would have survived given the way gravity works in this. But
I have
I'm
magic
sa-
powers.
I mean, yes, we're even in terms of like now we have the same injury, but also you did just kind of save my life.
yeah,
Yep.
But also, I'm such an asshole. I'm still going to be like, I got to duel to the death.
Yeah.
We're not
And
dead
it
yet.
is, and it is a pretty cool shot because like the the waves crash and it mists everything around them. So the two of them are just kind of standing there while the music swells.
It's like they emerge out of smoke, but
Yeah.
it's just mist.
Yep. So Hashimoto dashes towards him. They clash, and the King of Swords gets his goddamn arm chopped off.
And the fingers on his left hand.
Yeah.
He basically
Yeah.
uses one hand to like block an incoming shot
That
which
would have stabbed him
which-
in the gut.
basically it lands a kill shot on the other dude.
Yeah.
And then, but yeah, like as he's like, "Fuck your fingers," he basically somehow cuts off the fingers off of one hand and then manages to cut the other arm off.
Yeah, it's a complicated move. You wouldn't
Yeah,
understand
sure.
if you were not the.
Yeah,
Right,
be a king of
I
swords.
mean,
King of
I'm
swords,
not
yeah.
a sword royalty of any kind.
Yeah.
Right,
So,
right.
You gotta.
Yeah.
yeah, I'm just a sword peasant.
You need to ascend.
Just a sword.
yeah,
I'm just a
he's-
knight peasant.
You're a
So,
three of swords.
Yeah, he's missing an arm, and the other one can't hold the sword anymore. So Hashimoto stands on the edge of the cliff and stabs himself in the foot.
Mm-hmm.
I'm guessing to make himself be able to keep standing.
To not fall.
Yeah.
It's exactly what he
Okay.
does.
All right.
Yep.
He stabs himself and just to prop himself up. It's like the little tabs on the Star Wars figures. You
Mhm.
put them on the playset.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. Foot pegs.
And they just stand there, right?
Yeah,
For the
and,
rest of
and
the
in
movie.
the background, it looks like the King of Swords falls to his knees, and Hashimoto just stands there as the credits start scrolling to the right of him,
Mhm.
and that's it.
Yep.
It never. They freeze frame it eventually,
They do.
but there's for a while there, it's a live shot.
Yeah.
where they're just standing there like that.
I think the implication is that one of them has died, but he has propped himself up, and the other will be dead soon anyway.
Yep.
So they both dueled to the death.
Yeah.
There are no winners in the duel to the death.
I believe they said the only winner in the duel to the death is death. I believe that was
Yes.
something.
Mm-hmm.
That's something King of
along the
Swords
lines-
said.
Yeah, something along those lines was said in the movie.
Yeah. He was like, look, death is the only one that wins. Why are we doing this, bro?
Yeah.
Let's just enjoy this fine feast that has been prepared for us.
Mhm.
To which the Japanese guy is just like, y'all have so much cool shit. Fuck y'all.
Yep.
So
So-
yeah, it's an awkward ending. Like most of these movies end awkwardly. This one is pretty awkward. It's like I get what they're going for, but it's also like, wait, one more scene? Like I don't
Yeah.
know, something.
So then the King of Swords had to go back to his
Yeah.
home planet.
Yes.
Right.
I mean, there's literally no one else left to tell the tale.
Right.
Like literally everyone else is dead.
Yes. I mean,
Yeah.
the moral is duel to the death. What is it good for? It's just basically
Absolutely nothing.
just listen.
Sing it again.
Yeah. Just listen. If you're thinking about starting some sort of duel to the death tradition,
Mhm.
head our warning. There are
Oh, no, I
there are
want
no
you-
winners.
I
Yeah.
want you to start a duel to the death. Not you guys, but
Yeah.
someone tell us if we're on the internet.
Yeah, I don't know. Just we
Help.
had a brief drop.
Help.
Oh,
It's
they
all
were
right.
back.
We're back. We're back.
All right.
But don't worry about it.
We're back.
Yeah, I'm all for other people starting duel to the death traditions. Just, I'm not going to be involved.
Keep me out of it.
Actually, maybe we're not. I just realized too, a couple of the cameras are fucked up.
Yeah, our
Our two.
cameras are frozen.
Oh no. I just froze. I'm like hitching.
I don't know that I can unplug anything without totally.
Don't worry
fucking-
about it. It's
Yeah.
YouTube being stupid. We'll just
Sorry,
we're at the end.
YouTube.
Yeah, well, you get audio. Sorry, we're frozen.
Yeah, if you can still hear us. Sorry
Oh,
about
okay. As
dumb
long as people can
expressions.
hear us.
Yeah.
Like
Is it
I'm
ju-
I'm
is
the
it
only one
three of
currently
us?
moving.
Oh, you're the only one moving. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, he's moving. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah,
I
BJ's
can know.
moving.
You were just very still.
Yes.
Very still.
Well, the picture actually is what gave it away.
Stage freeze.
He's moving to the death.
He stabbed himself in the foot
Yeah,
and was
Mm.
standing there.
that's what we all did.
Yep.
Um,
So,
yes.
ratings.
Right.
I can go.
Okay.
I'm going 3 jocks.
3 jocks.
Yeah. There's a lot of good carnage that I like in this movie. But it's also got a lot of the just incoherent filmmaking. Is the only way to put it. Like, it's tough to follow anything that's happening, and the fact that they had a different cut where literally just the audio changed the plot of the movie
Mhm.
or the subtitles or whatever it is, that's not great, and
I mean, you'd be
Not-
surprised how many movies you could do that with.
I
Yeah,
know, but I guess there's just a point where you feel it. But like, holy shit, some of the ninja action is just insanity, and that's the kind of shit I love.
It's bonkers. I mean,
Yeah.
it is constant, just like, what the fuck?
Yeah,
It's not normal ninja shit. It's not just ninjas tumbling around and just like, oh no,
Yeah.
these are fucking magical beings who will murder you.
Yeah, and we skipped the part where he meets his old master with the parrot. That's
Yeah.
really obnoxious bullshit, and I'm glad that that does not continue past that scene.
I thought there was going to be a moment where that guy came back because there's
Yeah.
a scene where King of Swords is in the woods looking longingly at something, and you're like, oh no, please don't be that guy. I don't want that guy to
Yeah.
have
This
anything to do with
This
this.
movie also swerves for a second and makes you think there's going to be the annoying little kid character.
Oh
Because
god.
there's this like
Oh, right.
kids
Yeah.
fighting scene, and then he teaches this one kid how to beat up the bully kid, and
Yeah.
then you're like, that kid for half a second starts following him, and you're like, no, 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 no.
Yeah, do not six-string samurai this.
I think one of those kids would have been okay. It was the gaggle of kids all just screaming at the same
Yeah.
time, where it was just like, shut
No.
the fuck up.
Yeah.
No
that
check.
that singular kid was awful.
Lone wolf and cub. That's it. Unspoken children. That's how it works. Babies.
Unspoken children.
As soon as they speak, they need to wait till they're 18 or older.
Look, good luck with that, my friend.
Yeah.
Well,
But
I mean,
really-
I don't want to hear them.
I mean, you give me a Ninja Voltron, and you're going to get a Jocks out of that at least. Just saying.
Ninja Voltron.
So I ended up at 3. It's a lot of great action, but yeah, it's not the most coherent thing I've seen, so that's what bumps it down a bit.
Okay.
I got to give it 3 jocks for excessive ninja bullshit, and -1 jocks for anime adjacency.
Anime adjacency.
Anime adjacency, yeah.
I might have
Um,
to change the episode title.
No, I like the Bojangles.
You shouldn't have said it then.
I'm okay with this pivot because it
It,
it sums up everything I feel about
Right.
this movie.
yeah. So all the ninja shit is great. The dub is awful. It's if you've never seen a dubbed kung fu movie of any kind.
How?
Well, yeah, but you still know what they
Yeah.
sort of sound like. And this is exactly it. This is like you could use this as the prime example of how like dubbed kung fu movies sound, because it's got all the tropes, every single one of them. Also, the sound is obliteratingly awful, like screeching level, painful, awful. That's why it doesn't rate higher. Those couple of things, but it definitely needs to be called out on the anime bullshit adjacency, because it's there and it's real annoying. Like the guy in the woods with the cockatiel or cockatoo. I don't know which one that is.
With his cock.
Annoying bird. That's
It's my favorite style.
annoying
Annoying
bird.
bird.
I've seen you practicing out on the lawn.
Yeah.
I thought you meant your favorite style was a cockatoo.
Second favorite style is
mean-
cockatoo. Yeah,
Go with what you could.
usually 2.
Yeah, that's the joke.
But yeah, like annoying children, gaggle of annoying children, annoying man with bird.
These are all good kung fu names. Oh no, it is the gaggle of annoying children. It is man with annoying bird. Run.
Yeah, all those combined. I have nothing to contribute. I'm sorry. All of those combined, I think we're at a 2 jocks.
Okay.
There's a really amazing supercut of this film. Like, I don't know that there is, but there should be a really amazing supercut of this film.
There's
That's
probably
just
a ninja supercut.
all of the ninja bullshit.
Yeah.
And that's amazing. And that's all you need.
Okay.
But I generally liked it, I guess. 2 jocks is pretty good.
Okay.
Do you want me to go to sandwich out?
Yeah,
something?
sandwich out.
All right. I can't be as generous. I'm sorry. BJ mentions the anime adjacentness, and while I
Man,
appreciate, ludicrous ninja-ness and ninja activities, I didn't like this movie, mostly because of the incredibly annoying soundtrack. I think this movie gave me tinnitus, or tinnitus if you really want the real word, but
It kind of gave me a Leventus.
yeah, 12itis. Yeah.
Chuck's so mad at that joke. Victor Borga, number inflation. Look it up.
No, I know that's what you're doing. That's why I'm mad.
Yeah. It's been a while. I couldn't get the exact noise. But yeah, I gotta go in the bags territory. I'm terribly sorry, but like between like my ears wanting to bleed, yeah, and also like just the complete and utter nonsensicalness. Like if you want me to just generally disconnect from a movie, don't give me like any kind of plot I can grab onto. Like I mean, it's just like this smites of like latter-day Resident Evil movies to me in terms of like any kind of coherency. So I don't like that. I mean, I know I appreciate the crazy, and maybe on another day this might have hit me differently, but today it's a 3-bag movie. I do not like this movie. I'm sorry.
That's fair. You're allowed to not like things.
This movie hurt. Like I mean, I think I liked talking about it, you know, making jokes about jangly to people, but it was like, I mean, it was like my head was like in like dubstep mode by like halfway through this movie because my entire somewhere in the back of my medulla oblongata was just like throbbing.
That's why he's so angry.
Yeah.
I feel like
Chicken tonight?
that's a weird way to go with that. I feel like the work that I have been doing the last month or so in terms of what I've been watching, which is nothing but kung fu movies, has prepared me for this movie in the best possible way. Because in comparison to a lot of the stuff I've watched in the last month, it is easy to follow. It is not the worst sounding thing I've ever heard. I was able to stick with it the entire time, and like it had a bunch of crazy kung fu shit in it where I was like, this is all good. This is what I want. I want every fight to have at least one thing in it where I go, what the fuck?
Yep.
That is the best. I have really been comparing it to the Fast Five experience of all I'm chasing at this point is for a movie to do something that is so batshit insane that I'm just like, what on earth? What? This is the awesomest thing ever. What are you doing? And I've found that with this genre, and this obviously is one of the better ones of this genre, and compared to things I've been watching on VHS and horrible dubs and just the worst storytelling possibly that you can imagine. It's a Four Jocks movie. It's there. I mean, just based on the ninja shit alone, it's a Four Jocks movie. The story might make sense depending on the dub that you get. I don't know. I was able to, I think, piece it together. It doesn't make sense in like a reality sort of way, but these movies don't. You know, because these movies are about people who are good at kung fu and swordplay, which are all real things, but then they can jump 100 feet in the air, and you're like, the fuck? You know? I mean, but you just have to accept that and go, okay, well, I guess that's just the rules of this world, is that you can be good at actual physical things that people right now can do, but they can also jump up into the sky for some reason. So I've come around on that. That used to be like the one thing that really burned my bridge about these kinds of movies, but I'm all for it now. So so thanks, Knobs, for sending us in. I appreciate it. It was a pleasure to watch.
Hey, the average was in jocks, so that's what counts. Maybe.
Yeah. It did kind of inspire me that I feel like somebody needs to come along and make a lucrative business in coming along and like doing, I would say, faithful restorations of these. Like when I say that,
Honorable
restoration. I like that. That's actually a great title for the company if you want to focus on Asian cinema. No,
Honorable restoration.
Welcome to Honorable Restorations, run by 7 white dudes.
I'm not saying I would run it. What my point being is like I would want.
I would run it with honor. I'll have you know. But yeah,
Go on.
Mm-hmm.
That checks out.
Yeah. No, like I would want someone to treat it like they did the original Star Trek thing, where it was like, we want to fix this, but not make it look like it came from a different era. Like, I mean, I would want someone to come through and like fix the sound, re-record. I mean, especially with dubs, you know, it doesn't matter who does the voice. I mean, you know, unless you're like really, really fond of like this one dub you grew up on or whatever.
The guy that sounds like this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, just like go through with like a real dubbing team and like a re-recording, you know, like have a musical artist on staff that could like do all these things, or you know, hire it out. I think it would be a fascinating, you know, venture to like get you some like I mean, they've clearly found good prints for for audio on these, but the original audio source is just garbage. I mean, it just always is.
Yeah.
So. Yeah, but yeah, I mean, it's
Be prepared to make $0 in this venture. Sadly,
Yeah. It would be an honorable endeavor, but it would also be a dollarless endeavor. Like,
it would be a.
I think it would
be
be-
a tax write-off.
I think it would be an important piece of art.
yeah.
and an important thing to undertake.
Well, see, I mean, I'm
have-
thinking more in terms of like it being like an art project, like not just like
Yeah.
like get it to like Arrow Video. Like, I mean, I would like, this to be like a thing. Like, okay, we are now going to like this. I would like it to become famous. Like, this picture is getting this treatment, like the Criterion treatment, almost exactly. But it's like.
Mhm.
This is going to be in cinemas, like maybe some select cinemas, not like every AMC
Yeah.
and Cinemark thing out there. But I mean, it's like I was just saying, like restore these for real, like 5.1 Atmos mixes, all this kind of stuff, like 4K stuff.
Yeah.
Like just
You
do
could
it for real.
possibly do it without losing your shorts.
Yeah. But I mean, I just think like
It'd be cool as shit.
I think this.
Oh,
I
yeah.
think the world would look favorably if you like pluck these hidden gems, because like I said, I think with a little tweaking, this could. I mean, I'm saying this like this is like a 3-bag with a giant asterisk at the end. It's like, because I feel like I might like this with a completely different dub. I just afraid it doesn't exist. Especially because I feel like the soundtrack parts of it are straight off. That doesn't matter. The language dub, that those annoying fairy bells are always going to be there.
Yeah.
and that like bad like almost like digital theremin thing that happened for a minute. It was like that shit is all just ear piercingly awful. So yeah, but like I said, if somebody came through and like hit this with a proper mixing and everything, I mean, I just think of like what like that YouTube channel Auralnauts does with like fucking with old movies just to have fun, like re-recording Foley and stuff. Like they just recently did the ending of Saturday Night Fever without the Bee Gees, just for shits and giggles. Like he's like, I'm gonna go strut, and it's just like he's just walking through and you hear like hey, get out of the way, fuck. It's just him walking down the street with like all the background noise. Yeah. So
Oh,
yeah.
IMDb has the other dub for free. How about that?
Right. So anyway, I'm just saying, like, I feel like
Sure.
there's good ingredients here, but that soundtrack, ouch.
Good ingredients, but you fucked it up. You burned it in the oven.
I mean, I just that like I said, that was
It's painful.
Orally
It was painful.
Orally painful.
Orally, yeah.
Nothing worse than painful oral.
That's true.
Yes.
Anyway, if you would like to tell us how to,
If you would like to orally contact us, give us a call on the Garfield phone, 910-5-JOCKS-BMF or 910-556-9263. If you would like to verbally inflict upon us your opinion, BMF at BMFcast.com.
Is that a threat?
Jesus.
Yes. Sort of.
Yeah. Okay.
Take my opinion.
please.
Yeah. Otherwise, join us on the Discord.
Yeah, you can join us on the Discord. There's a link somewhere, probably on the website,
Yep.
or pinned on our Twitter. Maybe there might be pinned on our Twitter.
It is
Might be
tweeted
on
out
our
every
Twitter.
so often, but
Okay.
it is definitely on our webpage.
On our webpage. A bunch of folks joined us because Twitter is imploding or was imploding or has imploded by the time you listen to this. Who knows?
It needs to.
Yeah.
Who the fuck knows? Nobody can do anything with a giant corporation. But what we should do is burn them all to the ground.
I like it.
Wow.
But before you do that,
Go to patreon.com/BMFcast and give us all your money before the economy collapses.
Yes.
yes.
Or just give us like $1 a month and get a shitload of
Yes.
Yeah.
awesome extra bonus content.
We get
Inflation
your things back for it.
has not ruined the value
Right.
at our Patreon.
We're not charging you more for less content because
We
are
should.
better
Yeah.
than Coca-Cola and Cadbury
Yeah.
and
If
all
we
the
ever,
gas companies.
if we ever do charge more, we will be giving more stuff.
That's right.
right. I mean, technically, we charge a lot, but you don't have to pay a lot. You could pay a little.
Yeah.
We charge whatever you want to
Yeah.
pay
Like-
for.
Like, if you want to put in $9,000, we're charging $9,000, but you don't
Yeah,
have
we're not
to.
really charging.
No, we're
You're
charging.
giving,
We're taking.
Yeah.
Charging.
possibly. Anyway,
Sure.
But it's $1. You got $1.
and if you
Do
don't,
ya?
you still get Prime for free
Yep.
all the time.
Exactly.
Ad-free, supported by the rest of those schmucks.
Mm-hmm. By Grapthar's hammer. What a savings.
But anyway, seriously, thank you to all our patrons who
Yes.
make this possible for us to pay for all of our equipment and for everything that we do around here.
Yeah.
All right, let's get out of here, shall we?
Walkie dokie.
Let's-
I'm Harlow.
I'm Mackie.
I'm BJ,
I'm Chuck.
and this is BMFcast out.
All right, only because we're still live, and I
Yeah.
want to know for future if this ever happens again.
Pull your dick
if-
out.
Well, I'm going to see if this like totally fucks up the stream. So I'm warning you if we disappear since you still have audio.
Or you gonna unplug some shit?
Yeah, I'm going to unplug some shit.
Oh shit.
And
Oh,
try to
shit.
bring it back live. It's dead now. See,
Oh.
BJ's is the only one that's
Yeah, my
coming
lights
off
out.
of-
I'm
off-
dead.
Off of here.
See, my
separate.
light's on.
I'm
though.
dead.
I'm frozen, but my light's on.
I'm dead.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I think it's trying to reconnect these.
Yes, you're dead.
You're dead. Sorry, dude.
Fuck.
Duel to the death. You
Game
died.
over.
You died. You lost the duel. Now you're active.
Okay, now I know how to do this. That's what I was
You
saying.
just have
Th-
to refresh
th-
it.
Yeah, I was saying I need to know how to do this in case this ever happens. And while the stream isn't particularly important,
That's
it's a good,
really
is a
embarrassing.
good time. Well, okay, except it didn't work for you.
My light went out. My light's back on.
Hey. Welcome.
Have you
back.
tried turning it off and turning it back on again? Yay! So now we know how to recover if we have to.
Sweet.
Cool.
Praise be to Buddha.
Buddha be praised.
I seriously thought we were going to have to start a drinking game in the first 5 minutes when they just kept saying it.
Yeah.
Like,
But
I
then
thought.
he didn't say it again for
No.
another 30
No, as
minutes.
soon as they left that school, it was over. But man, I just every 45 seconds someone was saying it.
But what was that other the Shaw Brothers? Was that a diagram pole fighter that they said that so fucking much?
Yep.
Is that what you were just talking about?
Yes.
No, I was talking about this.
Oh, okay.
Like the first 30 minutes of this when they were at the school, they just constantly just like every sentence instead
Yeah,
of a period.
I feel like 8 diagram pole fighter was the one where they said it so fucking much. Because that one guy was just like he couldn't start. It was like sir, yes sir. It was like he couldn't say Buddha be praised. Like he had to say at the beginning and end and everything.
Mm-hmm.
You guys,
The fuck are you doing?
Just seeing what you would do.
you guys having? Are you guys playing footsies?
A little bit.
He was. I was receiving footsies.
Oh,
Oh, there was a good comedian on the ship. Yeah, he's actually funny.
Was it Howie Mandel?
It was not. I'd have been the one jumping off the fucking boat if it was Howie Mandel.
Howie
Fuck that
Mandel's
guy.
the entertainment.
you
I
think
gotta
Howie
go.
Mandel would be entertaining on a cruise ship during a pandemic?
Yes.
Good point.
Mr.
Yes.
Mr. OCD. I invented the fist bump because like, hey, germs.
Yeah, but also
I
I
know he
kind of
didn't,
think
but-
probably he's.
Weird and broke.
Yeah.
Well, okay.
Yeah.
I
no.
mean, I feel like they're at any point in time, and you know, the whatever the suitcase game. If they want to do another one, they'll call him and a heartbeat.
Deal or no deal.
Whatever, sure, yeah. I just remember the fucking suitcases and
Time to
bottles.
play the suitcase game.
Didn't fucking
Suitcase
I'm
to
just
the
helping
death.
you out.
care. Yeah, no, I'm just saying. Like,
Not being
that's how
condescending.
little cultural impact it had. It was like
Condescending is when you talk down to somebody.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Can you explain patronizing too?
No, I don't think you'd understand it.
Yeah.
Jokes.
That's all I got is jokes.
Good. That's what we need.
Restart to update.
Boom.
You start
roasted.
updating.
Updating.
All right, let's get out of here.
Yeah.
Okay. Hard.
Let's go, shall we?
Snappy. Bamfcast.
Hey! I mean, bye.
Episode 979.
Episode 5420.
This is a movie called There Are Birds in the Sky. No, there are birds in this guy.
Oh, whoa, whoa. That's a different kind of bird box.
Yeah.